All right, welcome in. We are live for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. You're watching us here on Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, greatly appreciate all of you for joining us for our NBA Finals coverage. The stage is set between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat. A lot of star power set to take the floor as the Miami Heat able to overtake the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals in a really thrilling series that went 7 games. And the Denver Nuggets, the rest is on their side as they've had a little while after dusting off the Los Angeles Lakers in a sweep, albeit a very exciting sweep, to come back home in the Mile High City to host Miami. The winner of this series, of course, raising the Larry O'Brien Trophy. And because the Nuggets have a little bit of that rest advantage, Denver, 9-point favorites for this Game 1. The over-under set for 218.5. Tip-off set for about 10 minutes from now. So we're going to preview this game a little bit here for our pregame show and give you some things to look out for, what you can expect, and, of course, offer our thoughts on this matchup as well. Joining me will be producer Nick Rohloff, who is also the host of our brand new Miami Heat channel, The Heat Report. So he's certainly going to be offering a lot of expertise on the Heat side of things as well. So speaking of him, we'll welcome him on screen, and we'll ask all of you, where are you watching from? Let us know down in the comment section. Our audience tonight, hopefully, going to be massive on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, as well as on our Heat channel as well. So where are you? Let us know. And Rolly, how you feeling about your Heat?
Oh, I'm feeling good, man. It's obviously good to be here in the finals. The stress of potentially blowing that 3-0 lead is finally gone. And I was talking with some people close to me, Chase, and after winning Game 7 in Boston, it wasn't even a feeling of happiness for advancing to the finals. It was almost a sense of relief for not being the first team in NBA history to blow a 3-0 lead. But now that's behind us, and we're here for a really tough series against what I thought was the second best team in the NBA all year long. I was always on the Milwaukee Bucks bandwagon as the best team in the NBA. Now, second, it was the Nuggets. The Heat obviously beat the Bucks. Now they'll have to take a tall task of going into Denver and trying to steal one against the best team from the West.
Yeah, and Jimmy Butler, this postseason run, he's been awesome. 23 points per game in the regular season. Just a tick under that at 22.9 throughout the playoffs. He's been averaging nearly 29 points per game. When the playoffs are here, Jimmy Butler comes alive, and he's going to have to continue to do that against this Denver Nuggets team. Looking at the comment section here with 76 people watching live. Shout out to Tulp Fiction, Aaron, Double A, King James, Knicks Galaxy, Smadar, Exotic Soy Sauce, and Frank. A lot of people tuned in already. We have some people watching from Florida. Frank is in southern France right now. New Braunfels, Texas, from Elijah. Heard some good things about that area of Texas. A good vacation spot for one of our own in Trace Gerard, who likes to float down the lazy river down that way. So let us know where you're at. Death Wish is in Chicago. Atlanta from Jim Ross. What it do? Anybody over on the Heat side?
Yeah, we got Wyatt. He's tuning in. Shout out Wyatt. We got OD from the Philippines. Angelic Reaper from Arizona. Michael M. saying Bears now. LFG, thanks for showing up. Appreciate that. Riley Shea in New York. And I did see a lot of people tuning in from Miami on their main Chat Sports stream. So I just threw the sub link in for the Heat Report. If you want to join other people, potentially from Florida and Miami Heat fans, hit that sub link and check in there. But yeah, we got people all across the world and United States tuning in today. So we should be in for a good one. And that leads us in as we're about 5-6 minutes away from tip. Who you got in this Game 1? Massive game. You expect the Nuggets to come out with a lot of energy because, like Chase mentioned, a lot of rest. Heat traveling to Denver on Monday. We'll see how they hold in the elevation. I know that's a big storyline in this series.
So they got their flight after the game, but they departed on Monday, not Sunday.
Well, they played on Monday.
That's right. I was confused by the Memorial Day holiday.
Yeah.
See, my week's been all messed up because I thought my Tuesday was actually Monday, so that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, and the Denver Nuggets, on the other hand, they've had a lot of rest following taking down the Los Angeles Lakers. So they do have the rest advantage, but sometimes we see that sometimes the rest doesn't always benefit you. Sometimes it's the team that played recently that's coming in hot that doesn't need to spend some time to find their mojo that actually ends up playing well early in the series, especially in an instance like this for Game 1. So John Sarbello saying hi, what it do? Alonzo Hall said, let's go Heat. Gary Sanderson. What's up, Gary? Big UConn fan.
UConn.
Rolly, big
UConn
guy.
basketball, baby.
Yep.
I love me some Husky hoops, Gary. I love me Husky hoops. Jordan Hawkins, steal
Miami. Smadar, let's go Heat. Elijah likes Denver. John, win-win situation for me. I love the underdogs, but I also love Denver. What's up, Mike? Likes Miami. And then Scott Shaver is actually tuned in from Colorado. And what's up, Mike? Likes the Miami Heat. So you think about this series, right? I had tweeted this out after Miami had beaten the Boston Celtics, and I said, I'm going with the Denver Nuggets to win the NBA Finals. I think that they are a little bit deeper. I think that their offensive synergy, continuity, and camaraderie has been really special. This is a team that has paced the NBA in wins literally all season long. If you look at the record, they've been the best team in the NBA from start to finish. I like how they're coached. I like how they're versatile. They're very good on both ends of the floor. And if the Miami Heat do have a chance of winning this series, it's going to be a masterclass of a coaching series from Erik Spoelstra to find a way to slow this Nuggets offense down that nobody has been able to find an answer for. I think Michael Malone's a really good head coach. I think the 1-2 punch of Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, one of the best 1-2 punches in the NBA, especially right now with how they're playing. And then everybody else seems to fill in nicely on that roster. Michael Porter Jr. will hit some shots. Bruce Brown will come in, and he'll knock down some buckets. KCP is a two-way threat as well. And I just think they're a little bit too much for the Miami Heat to handle. That's why I like Denver. But Rolly, you're a Heat fan. Why do you think the Miami Heat can win this playoff series?
Yeah, I'll go into it in depth, but make sure you guys do like the video. If you're ready for Game 1, smash that like button. Only 19 likes on our main channel with 120 people watching. Let's get those numbers up. 9 likes on our Heat Report channel, 40 people watching. Let's get to that 50% like rate before tip in about 4 or 5 minutes. But yeah, if you're the Miami Heat, I really think this all lies on the shoulders of Bam Adebayo. And he was a topic of conversation against the Boston Celtics because he was so dang good in games 1 through 3, but 4 through 7, non-existent, lot of turnovers on the offensive end. So we'll have to see how his offensive game moves over to Denver, but his defensive ability, which I call him the best defensive player in the league, maybe it's a little biased, maybe it's not, but his defensive prowess is going to be massive in this series. Obviously, going against the 2-time MVP in Nikola Jokic, I thought maybe could have been the 3rd-time MVP this season. Obviously didn't win, but I think Jokic would trade an NBA Finals appearance for an MVP trophy.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Jokic is so dynamic when it comes to dishing the ball and hitting those tough contested jumpers and getting offensive rebounds. Bam is going to have to play his best game on the defensive end to try to slow down Jokic. Don't let him get second chance opportunities for Denver because they are oh so dangerous when Jokic gets an offensive board and kicks out to the shooters of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Michael Porter Jr. So the Heat are going to have to crash the boards, not just today, but this entire series, and don't let Jokic really get going offensively. But it's tough to say, though, because they are so dynamic as a team, because you can say you cannot let Jokic get going, but you can also say the same thing for Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr., because one of those two sidekicks of Jokic really start hot and don't miss from 3. This offense of the Denver Nuggets is unstoppable.
Yeah, and you make a good point. Like, Bam Adebayo, this is a huge series for him. And he's had his hands full throughout this entire playoff run. I mean, round 1, it's Giannis. In round 2, the Knicks are a pretty versatile front court team with a couple of different options, and I thought he was the best big in that series. And then last round, Al Horford, Robert Williams, who's really athletic. But he's also utilized a lot on switches, having to get out to that three-point perimeter to put a hand in the face of a Jason Tatum or guard a Jaylen Brown. And there were some times in that series last round where he was able to go step for step with the JT or a JB. It was impressive. He, I think, is a better defensive player than Anthony Davis, probably a springier athlete than AD at this point of his career. And AD, I thought, couldn't really contain Nikola Jokic at all. And I thought that Jokic played good defense against AD, but Bam isn't the offensive player that AD is. So that's interesting. And then also with this game about to begin, who is going to cover Jamal Murray? And if he gets going, who's going to draw the defensive assignment? Because Jimmy Butler ideally is the Heat's best wing defender, but do you want to exhaust him on the defensive end of the floor knowing that you need that offensive production from him to go step for step with the Nuggets offense that can put up 140 points very easily?
Yeah, I think that's a fascinating point you bring up because the Heat like to switch a lot on defense, and that's why Bam is so dang good on the defensive end because he could guard 1 through 5 and go step for step with the best wings and bang it inside with a lot of bigs. But against this Nuggets team, you can't switch because if you do switch, unlike the Knicks, unlike the Celtics, they play through their big man.
Yeah.
The Knicks and Celtics play on the perimeter and take a lot of jump shots, while the Nuggets will get it to Jokic and get inside. So if they get Bam off Jokic and they have Caleb Martin guarding them, that's going to be a real issue.
Yeah.
And on that end, you mentioned who's guarding Jamal Murray. I imagine Gabe Vincent will get the assignment to start. I bet Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin will take Michael Porter Jr., Strus will be on KCP, and Aaron Gordon might be either Caleb or Jimmy, whoever doesn't take Michael Porter Jr. That's how I imagine them starting this game.
Yeah, so if you're ready for game one, type me down in the comment section right now. Our audience is going to continue to balloon all throughout the night. 170 people watching live on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. But as Rolly said, that's why he has the Heat background. We're getting our Heat channel going here at Chat Sports as well, the Miami Heat Report. So if you want to hang out with your fellow Heat fans and be a part of the Heat culture over there, you can do that and watch on that stream as well to support that channel. Denver Nuggets going to be rocking their blue jerseys, and the Miami Heat going to be rocking their red jerseys. It's going to be Bam Adebayo and Nikola Jokic tipping it up. Game one of the NBA Finals, ladies and gentlemen, is about to get underway, and it is underway. Denver Nuggets win the tip. It was Adebayo who tipped it to KCP. KCP corrals it. And Nuggets start off offensively with the rock. They'll move right to left here offensively. Jamal Murray will drive, hang in the air, gets it to go. Tough defense there. It took a body, but he was able to get it to fall. So 2-0 Nuggets. First points in the NBA Finals goes to Denver.
Say this. Interesting that Caleb Martin is a little running the point right now for the Heat.
Adebayo will kick it into the corner to Gabe Vincent. Jokic was on him, so he drove into the lane, took a pull-up midi, but missed. Jokic with the rebound. Jamal Murray now has it far side. He's guarded by Martin. Comes off the Jokic screen. Wide open for three, short. Adebayo, rebound. Long pass to Strus. Strus inside the three-point arc. 15-foot pull-up. That's short. Jimmy Butler rebound. Pull up Jay on the baseline on Jokic. Good.
Yeah, Max Strus taking a mid-range jumper there. Does not take those often, so I'm not surprised that he missed it. Jimmy Butler active early. And he's guarding Aaron Gordon, too, which is exactly what I expected.
Yeah, that's a good matchup here to conserve his offensive energy. Murray will carve into the lane, give it up to Jokic. Jokic to a wide-open Gordon for three. Airballed it looked like. Maybe caught a nick of the rim. Martin with the rebound. 2 threes for Denver, 2 bad misses.
I imagine Miami is going to force Aaron Gordon to take a lot of jump shots in this series.
Adebayo, 14-foot jumper. That's off the back iron, no good. Michael Porter Jr. rebound.
Those are the shots Bam must hit in this series if the Heat want to win.
Gordon going to spin off Butler. He gets stripped, gets it back, lays it up and in. 4-2 Denver lead. Nearly 2 minutes into this first quarter of Game 1 of the NBA Finals. John Borelli with the super chat. Appreciate you, Brody. Butler comes off the screen, patient. Gives up his dribble, out to Strus. Shot clock at 5. Back to Butler. Pull up 3. Yes! Jimmy Butler from 25 feet gives the Heat the 5-4 lead.
Wow, Jimmy Butler, all 5 points for the Heat early. Couple tough jumpers.
Jokic down low to Gordon. Got good position on Gabe Vincent. Throws it down with the two-handed dunk.
And Chase, that's exactly what I was talking about with the Heat defense switching so often. This team you just can't switch that much against because they're so lengthy from top to bottom.
Adebayo with Jokic guarding him. Baby hook gets it to drop. Nice little half spin into the baby hook there for Bam. And we continue to go back and forth offensively here at 7-6 Miami. Murray, Jokic, back and forth. Jokic draws the foul off Adebayo. He's going to go to the free throw line here. Who you got? Game 1, H for the Heat, N for the Nuggets. Your takeaways, Rolly, as you come back about the Heat so far.
This is one thing that I want to keep my eye on for this series is Bam and Adebayo obviously defending Nikola Jokic, but staying out of foul trouble because us Heat fans, we know that the Heat do not have a lot of depth behind Bam. The two big men behind him are either Kevin Love or Cody Zeller, unless the Heat want to go small. And Cody Zeller has just been horrific throughout this postseason. Kevin Love has been decent at times, but you don't want Bam to get in foul trouble because it will provide defensive nightmares for the Miami Heat, as Nikola Jokic made both free throws for the Nuggets here, and Bam takes it the other way and kicks it out to Caleb Martin, who drives inside, goes up, a lot of contact, no call. Heat will retain possession after the ball is hit out of bounds off Michael Porter Jr.
So 8:45 left here in the first. Nearly 300 people watching live on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. We're also streaming on the Miami Heat Report as well. Just launched that channel. Rolly's been crushing. Heat will inbound on their own baseline. Vincent to Adebayo to Strus. Strus guarded by KCP, guarded closely too. Martin, the Eastern Conference Finals hero, long two, rattles out just inside the three-point arc.
And I think that's an advantage or a matchup Martin could take advantage of. Michael Porter Jr. lengthy, but not the best defender, as he lines up a triple, no good. Rebound, Aaron Gordon. He can't let the Nuggets get offensive rebounds.
Jokic, down low to MPJ, turnaround. Good defense there from Gabe Vincent. Didn't have the height advantage on his side, but got a hand in his face. Butler, near side, already has a 3 for his lone points of the game. He'll back down KCP, into the trenches, out to Vincent, pop pass to Strus, sidestep dribble, three-pointer no good.
Strus really struggled against Boston shooting from beyond the arc. He's going to have to hit him these series.
Gordon going to back down Strus. They eyed that mismatch. They attacked it right when they got to the offensive end of the floor. 10-7 Nuggets. 7:35 left here in the first.
Aaron Gordon's got 6 points because of the switches that he have inside. As Gabe Vincent, tough step back mid-range jumper, gets it to go. So the Heat offense is flowing. They're just having struggling or issues defending the Nuggets when Aaron Gordon is defended by someone not named Jimmy Butler.
Jokic, dribble handoff to KCP. Fadeaway jumper popped out, then went in. So everybody getting involved here offensively for Denver. Butler has it up top. 12-9 Nuggets lead. Butler into the lane. Blocked by Michael Porter Jr. Got it back. Layup, no good. I think Jokic got a tip. Here come the Nuggets. Looking to move it. KCP thought about a shot, pulled it back down. Nuggets will reset. Shot clock at 14. Gordon will back down Martin. They've been utilizing Gordon so far because of the size and athleticism advantage. And so far, he's winning that bout. 14-9 Denver now. Aaron Gordon has 8 points. Timeout, Erik Spoelstra.
Yeah, I wonder what Erik Spoelstra is going to do here, because Aaron Gordon's got 8 of Denver's 14 points, and he has just been dominating Max Strus, Caleb Martin, and Gabe Vincent when they get switched on to him.
Yeah.
I think they're just, I wouldn't say Caleb Martin's too little because he's similar in height. He's 6'5", 6'6", but Jimmy Butler is so strong that he can defer and move Aaron Gordon out of the paint. Don't let him get so good position inside. Vincent, Strus, and Martin aren't able to do that, and Aaron Gordon has taken advantage. I believe he's 4 for 6 from the field. Easy 8 points for Gordon right now.
Yeah, and this is partially something that I talked about in the pregame show. Like, I'm just worried about the Nuggets' depth because they've always been talent deficient this year. That's been the story of the Heat, right? So I'm worried about the Heat's depth guarding the Nuggets. And for Miami, do they have the size and the bodies to guard the diversification offensively that the Nuggets have? So far early on, it's not even like the star players have gotten going. Jokic doesn't have a field goal yet. Jamal Murray only has a layup. And Aaron Gordon has 8 of the Nuggets' 14 points. And Nuggets looking good offensively, but coming out of that Erik Spoelstra timeout, we know Miami can certainly make adjustments. John Borelli with the $2 super chat. He's a Heat fan. Let's go Heat. All right, Borelli.
Borelli is a real one because he was with the two of us during the Lakers-Warriors series. His Warriors eliminated in the Western Conference semifinals, and he said right away, Jimmy Butler is my favorite player. I'm rocking with the Heat the rest of the way. Borelli, man of his word, and a chat sports legend. We love John Borelli around these streets.
Leo Pap Robinson, what's up? Clayton Lockhart, what's up? And everybody else who's tuned in with us. King James, I saw you earlier. Wow, my first shout out on Chat Sports. King James. There's 3 more for you. If you're enjoying the game, we have nearly 400 people watching live right now. 49 likes on our main Chat Sports stream. Commercial break right now. You're not missing anything. You might as well hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. I mean, come on, help us out a little bit here. Trying to get me a free burrito from Lil Uzi Vert. Okay, hope you get it.
I really am starting to have my brain run in circles of if I was Erik Spoelstra, what would I be doing to try to combat what the Nuggets have done offensively early?
They're a good team, man.
And I'm trying to think, I don't think you can play Kevin Love or a double big lineup. I honestly think we might have to see a legend in the Heat area. We might have to see Haywood Highsmith.
Wow.
I mean, I think that he would be able to play that 4 spot, and your offense would certainly take a hit. But I think with Butler, Bam, and Highsmith, those are 3 players that will not get bullied by Aaron Gordon, and I think Spoelstra's going to have to take a look at potentially bringing Highsmith in this game early. We saw him clamp up Jason Tatum a bit in that Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, but Highsmith might have to get some minutes coming up.
Can Kevin Love guard Aaron Gordon?
He could if he sags off.
He can at least go body for body,
The
right?
problem if you put Kevin Love in, what the Michael Malone and Denver Nuggets will counter with is that they're just going to put him in pick and roll action, and it's going to be either a wide open shot or a free basket every time because Kevin Love in the pick and roll might as well be me out there. I mean, he is so slow-footed at this point in his career.
Yeah. 400 people watching live, 63 likes. The bosses just texted me and said, if we don't get to 100 likes here in the next 2 minutes, they're going to cut the stream from their house. We don't want to have to do that. So make sure you hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. Heat miss on one end. They come back. Then they force a turnover on the other end. Then Jamal Murray runs into Jimmy Butler. Ball goes out of bounds. There has to be a foul call.
Yeah, they called
a
foul on Jamal Murray, and now the refs are talking it over to see if it would be something more than a common foul, whether it be a take foul or whatnot. But coming out of the timeout, a really good set by Erik Spoelstra, getting Bam and Adebayo an easy 10-foot float shot off of a pick and roll with Max Strus, and he just missed it. And that was the story against Boston, missing easy shots early. I'm kind of disappointed that Bam hasn't corrected the ship. He has a nice little jump hook in this game on Jokic, but other than that, hasn't done anything offensively.
We're up to 72 likes. We need 100 in the next 90 seconds. Gabe Vincent. He's going to line up a 3, misses, but Bam Adebayo with the putback slam.
And that's the Bam you're going to need. Crash the glass, make Jokic work. When Jokic gets tired, that's when this Nuggets team struggles. So if you make him work on the defensive end, he might not be as effective offensively.
Murray, far side, comes off the screen from Jokic, pulls a mid-range pull-up, and he hits.
I tell you what, Chase, that pick and roll is just so dang effective.
Lethal.
The most effective play in all of basketball statistically.
Yeah, especially with those two running it. Murray, unlimited range. Jokic, he can do anything out of that action. Martin, jab step right, drives left, blocked by Porter Jr. Here comes Denver. KCP drives, layup, too strong. Heat will get it back. Jokic tipped it out of bounds. So good defense doesn't lead to points in transition for Denver as KCP a little bit out of control as he went to the 10. And then Vincent responds with the trifecta. He buries the 3. 16-14.
Vincent's been good early here, Chase.
Yeah, so out of that Erik Spoelstra timeout, some adjustments here for Miami. Maybe they just had to regroup a little bit. What a pass from Jokic to Murray. He's going to throw down the dunk. You don't see him hammer it home much, He rose up off 2 feet, threw it down. 18-14, under 5 to go in the first. Vincent comes off the screen. Into the corner to Strus, wide open for 3. He needs to get going for Miami.
I wonder if Duncan Robinson will be more of a factor in this series. With how Strus has struggled shooting the ball, Duncan, you saw, did a good job in Boston. He might need to come out and play.
They're going to go to Gordon again, and Gordon attacks Vincent, and he puts it through. Drove right to the rim. Gordon, 10 of the Nuggets, 20 points. We saw him in that closeout game against the Lakers play excellent.
Yeah, that spot is really a mismatch in this series between Aaron Gordon and the rest of these little Miami Heat guards.
Butler to Martin, Martin to Vincent, Vincent to Strus, another bad miss from distance.
And he's set to check out here. Duncan Robinson will come in early in this game.
Gordon, high point, sees the part in the lane, Euro step, left-handed layup in. Aaron Gordon, 12 of the Nuggets, 22 points. There's still nearly 4 minutes left in the first. Adebayo, pull up midi. Got it. Heat needed it badly. Cuts the Nuggets' advantage to 6.
That's a big shot from Bam. Maybe it gets him going, but the Nuggets are shooting 10 of 16 from the field, and they're just getting easy looks every trip on offense, and they're going to get a wide open layup.
Yeah. So Murray gave it up to Jokic, then he cut to the basket. Heat lost track of him. Jokic dumped down pass down low to the low block, and Murray puts it in. Easy deuce there. 24-16, 3:17 left. Martin pull up from the elbow. Back iron, no good.
He's off to a rough start. He's 0 for 3 from the field. Caleb Martin no longer playing Boston, where he's getting free reign.
Gordon sizing up Strus. Into the lane. Then into the corner to Porter Jr. for 3. Nearly got it to go, but it popped out.
Jimmy got inside and finished with a nice little layup over Michael Porter Jr.
Jokic. Gonna pop it out to Porter Jr. Porter Jr. for 3. Bang! It's good. So he finally gets on the board with the triple. 27-18, Nuggets advantage. Butler will back down KCP. Out to Strus. Strus, pop pass to Adebayo. Baseline jumper, yes. So anytime the Nuggets try to extend their lead, the Heat do come back. And now Michael Malone going to call a timeout here. 1:59 left here in the first. It's been a fun first quarter so far. Russell Wilson watching on. And Aaron Gordon with 12 of the Nuggets' 27 points here so far. So 27-20 is the score. 500 people watching live here in the early going. 85 likes. How quickly can we get to 100 likes? Smash that thumbs up icon, like the video. Caroline Clark said Nuggets in 4. Bodine, Chase, where you been, bro? And how you been? Doing awesome, man. Took a little bit of time off, what? Only because the Nuggets swept the Lakers. I didn't do Eastern Conference because Rolly and Will did that, so now I'm back for the NBA Finals. Classy Joker saying hi, everyone. Isaac, Nuggets in 3. Rel B, Heat in 5. All right. Offbeat, greetings from Germany. What's up? Lord Buddy Bear, who should I root for? Rolly will tell you the Heat because he's a Heat fan on our Heat stream. I'll tell you, I'll be cool with either team winning. Denver, never won an NBA championship before. Jokic gets a ring. That's a cool story. And if the Heat win, what a wild story that would be. An 8 seed winning an NBA championship, virtually unheard of. Borelli said Heat in 6. If you love the NBA, make sure you subscribe to the show. We're really about to ramp up our NBA coverage. Harrison Graham went live on Wednesday to give you all of the latest NBA rumors intel. And with free agency and the draft coming up here before we know it, right at the end of the month, our coverage is going to be absolutely phenomenal, so you don't want to miss it. Right now we have 335,298 subscribers. So if you love the NBA, this is your spot this offseason. Subscribe now. Clayton Lockhart said Nuggets in 6. Possessed Pig, how are you? I'm doing awesome. How are you? I hope you're doing well.
I'll say this for any Heat fan out there watching that's a little nervous with this start. They're shooting incredible right now. They've missed all of their threes. They luckily haven't hit one if you're a Heat fan. I will say this, they're getting way too easy looks inside. The Nuggets offensive motion and set action is dominating this Heat defense that likes to switch everything because, one, they're too little to guard Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon in the paint with their 3s or 4s. But I think that's the main difference between the Nuggets and some of these other teams the Heat have played in this playoff run is that the Nuggets aren't afraid, even though they are a good three-point shooting team, to just go inside and battle and win the points in the paint battle. You looked at the Celtics, they'd rather camp out and take tough contested jump shots. The Knicks, semi the same way with Randall and Brunson. And then the Bucks, that was just a weird series with Giannis being in and out of the lineup. But this is just a different beast, and there's a reason why this Nuggets offense has been top 5 in the NBA for the past couple of years. It all starts with the center that can pass it to anywhere. As we are back, unexpected, good job ABC. And Christian Brown checks in, Zeller checks in, Duncan Robinson checks in. A lot of reserves in the game. And Brown quickly drives inside, misses a tough swinging, I guess, floater you could call it.
I don't love the first shot going to him coming out of that timeout. That was a little bit odd. I know you had your substitution pattern here to try to get your starter some rest to close this first quarter, but you're up by 7. Continue to tack onto that lead. Jimmy Butler runner from the baseline. That's no good. KCP on the other end. Elbow extended and offensive foul. Use that off arm to kind of push off.
Yeah, this is a fascinating time in the game here. Did Murray take a seat? Is that who came out for Brown? Yeah, and Bruce Brown checks in. So now without Jamal Murray and Jokic on the court, see how the Heat defend the Nuggets this time around. Caleb Martin the other way gets a screen from Jimmy Butler. Martin gets it now to Jimmy, guarded by Bruce Brown. Graduated from the University of Miami, so maybe a little home cooking here. Butler out to Duncan Robinson. Duncan gets a screen from Jimmy. Duncan inside, and he pushes off with the off arm, and it's an offensive foul.
So back-to-back offensive fouls there. First on KCP, next on Duncan Robinson. 57 seconds left here in this first quarter. I would have liked to have seen the Heat go to Duncan Robinson a little bit earlier because they stuck with Strus, who is just ice cold. But we'll see what Robinson can do. Jokic guarded by Zeller. That's a mismatch. Out to Bruce Brown. Back to Jokic. To Brown. Runner. Blocked by Butler. He picks it up. Comes back the other way. 35 seconds left on the game clock. He's going to pull up from 3. That's off the mark. No good. Jokic tracks it down, then lets it go out of bounds. So Nuggets basketball, game clock 27, shot clock 24. Who gets a bucket here? Let us know in the comment section here.
Yeah, this Heat offense is a little slow to start this game. They were hanging with Denver early, but they've really struggled to hit their outside shots, just like Denver. Heat do have 2 3-pointers, but they're shooting, I believe, 2 for 8, 2 for 9 from 3. That's not going to get the job done. 2 for 7, so not even close.
Brown crosses half court. Game clock at 16, shot clock 13. Looking for Jokic. He uses his screen, sends it to KCP. KCP lines up a 3, well off the mark. Loose ball goes to Gordon. Then he gives it up to Jokic, who lays it in. Second chance points. Lowry coming back the other way. Half-court heave. No good. So the first quarter of Game 1 of the NBA Finals is in the books. And it's the Denver Nuggets with a 9-point cushion, 29-20, heading into the second quarter. And the Nuggets led not by Nikola Jokic, not by Jamal Murray, but Aaron Gordon, a monster first quarter with 12 of the Nuggets' 29 points. If you're enjoying the game, like the video, and Rolly, let's ask them who you're going with. Do you still like the Nuggets to win this game as 9-point favorites? Do you think the Heat can come back and make it a game? N for Nuggets, H for Heat. Let us know.
Yeah, and I have noticed some Heat fans in the main chat sports chat. Shout out Jaden, said, I'm a good Heat fan. Well, if you are or not subscribed to the Heat Report, I'll throw it in our main chat sports link. I am the host of that channel, and we have Heat news, Heat rumors all the time. We'll be live for every game as well. You could hang out and go talk with a bunch of other Miami Heat fans in that chat if you'd like. Wyatt, my name is Nick Rohloff. My nickname is Rolly, so that's why you see a different name on screen. Rolly is what I go by Bears. Here I go Nick Rohloff.
Do you do soccer commentaries? No, we don't really cover soccer. NFL, NBA, college football here at Chat Sports.
See a lot of N's in our main chat sports chat. Happy Vibe, SFS, Gary, Tandem, DV Gaming, Possessed Pig. A lot of N's, a lot of people going with the Nuggets. Reaper says, whose home court is it? This game is in Denver. They have home court in this series. DL says Nuggets. Zenith says, nice job covering the game. Very professional. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Zenith. We appreciate that. Yeah, DV Gaming, all Nuggets.
We got Tiro in the Heat Report chat. Says, as a Boston Celtics fan, let's go Nuggets. You can't beat them. Join, I guess, who they're playing next, right?
Yeah.
Elias Hernandez, 064 Razor say Heat. Bryce's Epic says Heat in 8. I actually heard that the Celtics just won Game 8 of the Eastern Conference Finals to force a Game 9.
Oh, wait.
Or did they play Game 1 against the Lakers in Cancun? I don't remember.
That would be a fun Cancun series.
Yeah.
Consolation prize.
I'm surprised the NBA didn't find a way to get those two matched up with each other. I guess true basketball wins out in that matchup.
Yeah. Nearly 7,000 people have watched us here so far on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel throughout the first quarter. And we've been able to pick up 10 new subscribers here over the last couple of minutes. So if you're looking for NBA coverage, because that's really about to ramp up here on the show, NBA free agency, NBA draft, lock us in, subscribe today. Robert Aguilar calling the Denver Nuggets the Chicken Nuggets. Isaac saying, go Spurs, go. Congratulations on Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah, big time. Even though I think he's just going to be Kristaps Porzingis.
Eric Brunsman, shout me out. There you go, Eric.
I think the main storyline of this game so far is the Heat's inability to guard Aaron Gordon, Caleb Martin struggling, and Max Strus struggling with their shots.
Duncan Robinson going to come off the curl, goes to Vincent in the corner. He's had a couple of threes already, misses that one, though, to start the second. Bruce Brown thought about driving, he'll back it back out. Guarded by Duncan Robinson, looking to beat him off the dribble, met by Kyle Lowry. Good help defense there. Robinson with the rebound. Vincent will bring it up, guarded by Murray. Slings it to Lowry, bounce pass Robinson. Corner three, no good. Bam will fight for the rebound. He got it. And then Christian Brown, good pursuit there. He's going to dive for the basketball on the other end, trying to track down the loose ball. He goes out of bounds. Nearly had a steal going the other way. Just couldn't corral it.
Now I'm intrigued to see if the refs will say he had possession before he goes out of bounds, which I believe they could easily call, because that depends if the Heat get the ball back with 9 seconds left on the shot clock or a full 24.
Right.
I would have to lean towards he did. They will say no, as Lowry chucks up a 3 with 4 on the shot clock, misses, but rebound out to Haywood Highsmith, back to Lowry.
Yeah, Lowry goes back down low to Highsmith. Christian Brown guarding him. Good defense there, but he's going to be whistled for the foul.
And this Heat offense just looks really choppy right now. No clear identity of what they're doing currently. I think this could be into the fact that they did not have as much time to prepare for the Denver Nuggets as the Nuggets had to prepare for them.
Right.
And you might say to yourself, well, the Nuggets didn't know who they were going to play, but were prepared for either matchup for those 8 days as Haywood Highsmith makes the first free throw.
Highsmith, some really critical minutes in that Game 7 against Boston. Kind of came out of nowhere. Classic Spoelstra. We'll put you into the game, and the energetic injection certainly served the Miami Heat well there while that game was still close. Goes 2 of 2 from the line. Back to a 7-point game. Nuggets haven't scored here yet. A minute and change into the second quarter.
And I'll say this, if you're the Heat who go into a 2-3 zone, with Jokic off the floor, you have to win these minutes during this series.
Brown to the right to Murray. Back to Brown up top. Comes off the screen. Kick out Murray. Pump fake. Sidestep three. Yes! Jamal Murray drains it from deep. Nuggets, 10-point advantage. Their largest of the game.
And I said this prior to this series starting, is the Heat cannot play this 2-3 zone. If Jokic is on the floor, he'll pick them apart in the middle of it, or the Nuggets are just too good of a three-point shooting team on the outside.
Adebayo, turnaround jumper, off the mark. Bruce Brown, long rebound. He'll slow it up. Come off the Jeff Green screen. They run a little pick and pop, but it's going to be a kickball on Miami. Jamal Murray, 5 of 6 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3. And the Nuggets offense humming right now. The rest hasn't made them stagnant or cold at all. Green in the corner. Guarded by Robinson. Will back him down. Turnaround baby hook. Slips off the rim. Lowry the other way. Good pass to Highsmith. Layup. Good.
And someone's going to have to step up for Miami outside of Bam or Jimmy. Right now, I guess it's Haywood Highsmith. Gabe Vincent's hit a couple shots, but the supporting cast has been really, really bad for Miami to start this game.
Nuggets will send it around the perimeter. Christian Brown, to Michael Porter Jr. for 3. Got it. MPJ, corner pocket triple. Good pass there from Brown after he nearly lost the basketball. 11-point lead. That's the Nuggets' largest of the game. Then on the other end, Brown blocking foul. He contacted Adebayo.
And this is the exact reason, if you're watching alongside with us, the Heat are just giving the Nuggets way too many good looks right now, and they're lucky that they haven't made a lot of their threes, but they've made their last 2 now between Murray and Porter Jr., and you just can't give these looks to the Nuggets team because they are so good, they will make them.
Bam hands it off to Vincent. Shot clock at 9. Into the corner, Robinson. Contested 3. Didn't matter. Able to bury it. So there's Duncan Robinson. He hits the 3. Miami 3 of 12 from deep. The Nuggets 3 of 8. We'll see what happens with Robinson and Strus throughout this game. Turnaround hook from Jeff Green. Nothing but nylon. It's good.
The Heat's defense has been really bad so far, and a miscommunication turnover between Bam and Duncan, and Erik Spoelstra throws up his 2s that signals the Heat will stay in their 2-3 zone, which I do not understand, as the Nuggets have just picked it apart with absolute ease.
So Nuggets get the ball back, largest lead at 11. They're up by 10 right now. Brown into the lane, missed it, but putback slam for MPJ. Now the Nuggets have their largest lead of Game 1 of the NBA Finals. They're up by 12, and Porter Jr. up to 8, 5, and 2. The 2 being blocks. It's been good on the defensive end. Nuggets defense has been swarming too. Miami hasn't really gotten a lot of clean looks. Robinson will drive. Good pass out of Adebayo. He's able to get it to go.
I know the basket went in anyway, but I'm surprised they didn't call it goaltending. Michael Porter Jr. stuck up his arm through the rim.
Michael Porter Jr. has it far side into the corner to Brown. Christian Brown will drive, drop it off for Murray. Lost the basketball. Turnover, Denver. Michael Porter Jr. is down. Lowry to his left to Robinson. Robinson to Lowry. Download Adebayo, throws it down and slams it home. Michael Porter Jr. is still down.
Malone called a timeout. It looked like I think it was Jamal Murray who lost the ball. Bam and Porter Jr. fighting for it. An accidental contact to Michael Porter Jr.'s face. I doubt that Michael Porter Jr. actually... He does get hit here, but I doubt that it actually would have put him on the ground for that.
Adebayo going up for the ball and just went like this. That was the momentum that his arms were going. Michael Porter Jr.'s up. Nuggets fans were booing. It's not a big deal. He's going to be all right. Who you got game one? We have a break in action. 39-31. Nuggets on top. Jorge Herrera. Porter Jr. will be a Knick. Elise YouTube. No. Jorge, I don't know what you're saying. Quinoa, bruh. They got the World Series Women's on ESPN, not the NBA Finals. You got to turn it on to ABC or just watch it with us here.
Yeah.
Chat Sports. Jorge said Bama's a hacker.
No, he's not.
I don't think so. Ryan N. likes the Nuggets to win this game. Mamba Heat. Jacoby's commentary. What's up, guys? Elise YouTube said Nuggets. Lord Buddy Bear, at least the Celtics are out. I hate the Celtics. I'm sorry.
That's a fair point, Lord Buddy Bear.
Yes.
Fair point.
Exos, yes.
Says, has Caleb Martin played yet?
Yes, but no. He hasn't done anything.
Yeah, he has been not effective in the minutes so far.
I'm not rooting for anybody, Ryan. I'm calling this game right down the center line. But Rolly is a Heat fan on our Heat channel right now, the Miami Heat Report. So if you want to support the show over there, you can do that. You can do that. The Trozo 1 Heat. Daniel Heat in 7. Ryan likes the Nuggets tonight. Yeah, the kind of takeaways that I have to start this game, the Nuggets have had a couple of opportunities to maybe extend their lead beyond 12. But the Heat, for instance, were just down by 12, able to get it down to 8. They definitely don't have the length and size as far as depth goes. They don't have the defensive dogs to keep up with all of the offensive firepower that Denver has. That's a little bit of a problem. And the thing with the start of the second quarter, Nuggets have been able to maintain this lead without Nikola Jokic on the floor. And you made the point a little bit earlier that you referenced, like the Heat try to go to that 2-3 zone, but when they go 2-3 zone, Jokic is just licking his chops. I mean, he's going to be able to pick that apart with all of the different pieces that they have and the movement that they have offensively. That's why I talked about in the pregame, the synergy that the Nuggets have. It's like any type of defensive outlook you trot out, they have an answer for it. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you won't. I don't think it's coincidence that the Heat ran their 2-3 zone, which they do more than any other team in the association. They pulled it out for the first time when Jokic is on the bench, because when Jokic comes into the game, and if you run a 2-3 zone, they could dump it to him at the free throw line, and he will either make that jumper 8 out of 10 times, pump fake and draw foul, pump fake drive by you for a layup, or just collapse the defense and kick it out for a wide open 3. I don't think this series is one where Erik Spoelstra can count on his zone to disrupt things. The zone disrupted the Celtics game plan at times, but that's because the Celtics like to jack threes even when they shouldn't be, and they shoot themselves out of games. This Nuggets team will not shoot themselves out of games. I don't think the Heat can continue to run this 2-3 zone.
So you heard it there from Heat fan Rolly, host of the Heat Report. Subscribe over there. Nuggets going to come back out with their starting 5 outside of Bruce Brown, who's in for KCP. So Murray, Jokic, Porter, Gordon, as the Heat will rebound off the Murray miss and come the other way. Lowry and Adebayo go back and forth. Lowry into the lane. Long-range floater from the free throw line. It's good. Crafty play from Lowry, who Rolly, I think, has been underrated throughout this playoff run.
He was really bad against Boston after game 1, but other than that, he's been good.
Porter Jr. into the lane. Gonna dunk it home. So after taking that shot to the face from Bam, he comes back, drives on Bam, flushes it with the left. Adebayo, high off the glass and through. Jokic defense didn't matter there. 41-35. Nuggets on top, nearly halfway gone here in the second quarter.
An aggressive Bam Adebayo makes this Heat team so much better. He needs to continue to be aggressive.
Murray, mid-range pull-up from the left elbow. Cookies. Nuggets back up by 8.
The Heat's offense is starting to get going a little bit, but the problem, their defense not matching it. They were one of the best defensive teams in the league, but they have been horrific.
Murray, 13 points on 6 of 8 shooting. Good wraparound pass from Adebayo to his streaking Highsmith.
I tell you what, Chase, they need to put that set in a museum. That was an incredible offensive action by Miami.
All started up top, then went into the trenches, then on that little backdoor cut. Jokic, what a pass to Brown. Brown for 3. Yes! Bruce Brown, nothing but net. 46-37. Nuggets with the 9-point advantage. Approaching 5 to go here. Lowry to Bam. Bam. Jumper on Jokic. Nearly got it to drop, but it popped out. Jokic to Porter Jr. Porter Jr. to Murray. He's guarded by Highsmith. Now switches on to Bam. Bounce pass to Jokic. Spins off Highsmith, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line.
See, and that's what I was talking about in the pregame, Chase. They switched between Haywood, Highsmith, and Bam, which has worked for them in every series they've played so far ineffectively. You just can't do it against Jokic because he gets it, post up Haywood, Highsmith off the switch, and easily gets inside, and the Heat are forced to foul or it's a free layup.
I think what the Nuggets have done really well tonight is some of the entry passes from the perimeter, identifying where the mismatches are. For instance, there, it was Jokic on Highsmith. Early in that first quarter, pepper it to Aaron Gordon because Gabe Vincent is on him or Max Strus, and they attack that. Their entry passes and identification from the three-point arc has been really on point, and it's led to a lot of easy offensive opportunities as Jokic 2-2 from the line there. Nuggets back up by 11. Largest lead is 12 for Denver. Jokic, only 1 field goal so far. He's 1 of 1, but 6 points, 8 assists. So the Nuggets up by 11 with Jokic only having 1 field goal so far.
They are shooting 63% from the field, though, because the entire offense is cooking for Denver. Is what am I watching?
Zeller into the lane, misses the layup, then goes to Duncan Robinson. His layup no good. Jokic rebounds, he'll push. Nuggets are so fun to watch in transition. Dribble handoff to Murray, and then Duncan Robinson kind of bulldozed Jokic there.
I tell you what, if it wasn't Duncan Robinson in the second quarter of a game, the Heat could and would win this challenge because Jokic hooks here. I guess not. The initial contact, I guess. I just have a hard time believing Duncan Robinson's going to make 260-pound Nikola Jokic fall over like that.
That's what I was going to say.
Me.
Oh! Aaron Gordon up top. Hands it off to Murray. Murray's double-teamed. Found Jokic, who was open, elected to not take it. Instead, sends it back to Murray, who's double-teamed again. Nowhere to go. Great defense there from Gabe Vincent. And he alters the jump shot there. Leads to a miss. Martin, be ideal for the Heat if he gets going here. Butler now has it. Will drive on Jokic. Into the corner to Martin. Martin back to Butler. Shot clock 7. Guarded by Gordon. Left wing. He'll drive. Out to Strus. Strus for 3. Misses again. He's 0 for
4. Max Strus has been abysmal.
Gordon near side to Jokic. Jokic is guarded by Zeller. You got to take him to the cup. That's exactly what he's going to do. Puts his shoulder down and cleared up a lot of space. Nuggets up by 13. Another Erik Spoelstra timeout. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, the largest lead of the game. Jokic starting to find his groove and his place offensively. Hasn't needed to do much in this first half because Jamal Murray's hot. Michael Porter Jr. playing well. Aaron Gordon had 12 points in that first quarter. But look out. Nuggets are starting to put it together. 50 points against one of the best defensive teams in the NBA with 3 and change left here in this first half.
Yeah, I just don't see how the Heat are going to be able to come back and win this game. I know it's early, and I'm not like saying it's over, but the Nuggets offense is cooking with so much gas right now. I don't know how the Heat are going to come up with the adjustments to stop this Denver offense mid-game. Now, what I will be fascinated with, Chase, is how Erik Spoelstra, with 2 full days in between games. The next game, game 2, is on Sunday. So he's going to have all day Friday and all day Saturday to come up with a potential solution to stop this high-powered Nuggets offense.
Yeah.
And what the Heat have done all playoffs and all season long, and really the last 4 years since Jimmy Butler joined this team, their defensive strategy of switching, and if there's a mismatch on the switch, they double and force a 3 from outside. I don't know if that strategy is feasible in this game against Denver. So for that fact, I am going to be very intrigued to see what Erik Spoelstra comes up with to potentially try to slow down this Nuggets offense that's shooting above 55% from the field right now and already has 50 points with 3 minutes to go in the first half.
We're up to 335,347 subscribers here on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. 1,200 people watching live, no matter where you are or how you're watching. Thank you for making our NBA Finals coverage a part of your day. Rolly, let's ask the people where they're watching from here during this commercial break. With the Nuggets sporting a 13-point lead, they were 9-point favorites. So far, Vegas on point there. Where are you at? I know we have people literally watching us from all across the globe. Vincent Sorletti, a real one, saying Earth, North Carolina from that dog Stray. Watching from Texas from Ryan. We're at our Chat Sports studios in Dallas. San Antonio from Isaac. Houston, Denver, Inglewood, New Jersey. I'm from Philly. Lone Star State from Nick. Nice, another Texan. Kentucky from Duck. Colorado, Westminster from Kenny. Brentwood, New York from Christopher. New York from Caden. Miami from Advanced. Mexico from Booker. Florida from CR. Tallahassee, Frank White. Fresno, John Borelli. Hungary from Akos. West Virginia from Marshall. It's Ducky, New York. London is in the house. New York, Cincinnati. AB, your backyard. I don't have one. Good try, though. I have a balcony. It looks at the Dallas skyline. It's pretty nice.
Chase, you'll like this on the Heat Report. We got Tiro from Jersey, Benjamin from Texas, Eli from Fort Lauderdale, Samuel, as always, the legend in Fort Myers. But we got Dean from Scotland, and then Roland from Perth, Australia.
Perth, Australia. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi. Chase loves some Australia.
My pops grew up in Melbourne. Got to show love to the Aussies. All right, we're back in action here. Jimmy Butler, long bounce pass to Martin. He's going to take a 3, nearly airballed it, nick the front rim. Nuggets will push. Michael Porter Jr., 3. That's no good. That was aggressive. Jimmy Butler climbs the ladder for the rebound. Under 3 to go here in the first half. Butler, mid-range pull-up. That's off the mark. Michael Porter Jr. will rebound. Nuggets don't have numbers, so they'll slow it up. Murray near side. Out to Jokic. Bounce pass to Gordon. Lays it up again. Anytime that Gordon's been on Gabe Vincent, whether it's a switch or by design, the Nuggets go right to him. 9-0 Nuggets run. They're up by 15.
The Heat have not scored a point in 3.5 minutes. That changes with a Gabe Vincent pull-up 3. He's been key so far for Miami. But I'll have to say this. I don't know what they're running defensively. I'm going to take a look more in depth here, but they got to stop switching because Aaron Gordon can't be guarded by Gabe Vincent.
Gabe Vincent, 3 field goals, 2 from distance. KCP's taking some ill-advised shots tonight that I don't love early in the shot clock. He took another one there. Heat nearly turned it over because KCP did get back on defense to his credit, but ball remains with Miami.
And that's really the main difference between Denver and Boston. They'll get the switch. that they want, and instead of forcing it inside, which is how the Heat want it to be, they swing it and then get a better entry pass so the guy who catches it can quickly put it up and not get double teamed. That's what's been so key for Denver as Max Strus lines up a 3 in and out. He's now 0 for 5. Strus has struggled.
He can't buy one right now. That was halfway down and came out. Murray, layup, blocked by Martin. Heat on the run. Strus wide open 3. No good again.
I think you got to really think about benching Max Strus because he's 0 for 6 and he's absolutely killing you. He's been really, really bad. I'm going to have to start thinking of some adjectives.
0 of 7 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3. Murray, step back. Cash.
Now, I will say this, Chase, if you're the Heat, you have struggled offensively. Denver has shot extremely efficient. If you could keep this at a 10-point game, I think you're going to feel good about things going into halftime because you've struggled to play defense and your shots from deep have been not close. As Bam, nice little hook. Bam's got 16?
16 and 4 on 8 of 12 shooting.
It's got to be the quietest 16 points I've ever seen.
Yeah. Jokic guarded by Butler. Will he back him down? No. Out to Murray. Murray for 3. Good! Jamal Murray has been white hot here in this first half. 18 points, 2 of 3 from 3, 8 of 12 from the deck. Nuggets up by 15. Ties their largest lead of the game. Strus has it to Butler, and he stepped out of bounds. That'll leave us with 20 seconds left here in this first half. Who gets the last shot for Denver? Drop us a name right now. Drop us a name right now. I'm going Murray. Thank you, Vincent. Much love, brother. 20 seconds left, shot clock unplugged. Isaac said Murray. Animex said Jokic. It's Ducky Murray. I'm going Murray. Guess who has it? Murray near side. Guarded by Martin. Here comes the Jokic screen. Works off it. Bounce pass to Jokic. Spin in the lane. Hook shot. Good. 4 seconds left. Adebayo crosses half court. He's going to have to chuck up a 3. Off the backboard. No good. And we go to halftime. Game 1 of the 2023 NBA Finals with the Nuggets up by 17 points. 59-42 through 2 quarters. But don't count out Miami. How many games have they trailed by double digits going into the fourth quarter in which they have won? Many throughout the playoffs so far. This game only getting started. 1,200 people watching live. 22,000 throughout the night. Subscribe to the show. Like the video. Bob Wade smoking. Denver's been smoking on that mile high pack offensively. Isaac, how does this affect LeBron's legacy? It doesn't at all, in my opinion. The Nuggets are really damn good, man. Caden, who do you think is going to win? I took the Nuggets to win this series. Too much depth, better roster, how they're playing offensively. I just don't know how Miami matches it, but things can change very quickly.
And like I've said, I think the thing that's going to be the most intriguing in this series is how Erik Spoelstra is going to attempt to adjust from game to game, because his game plan for game 1 on at least defensively is just not work. No. So what is he going to do in between games? I'm not saying the Heat even don't have a chance to win this game. I think the Heat could come back. They've had a lot of good looks not go, and as you'll see in a second, the Nuggets are shooting lights out. Now, if you tighten up your defense and you start hitting from behind the arc, you could be working with something that's effective. The Heat have got, I would say, decent looks a good portion of the time.
Yeah.
Now, Max Strus is 0 for 6 from 3. I'd say about 5 of them were wide open.
Yeah.
And you're going to expect to usually hit, or him to usually hit, 2 to 3 of if they're wide open like they have been.
Yeah.
And if he does, we're talking about a 10-point game at minimum. So I'm not saying the game is over. I just think there's a lot of adjustments Miami's going to have to find, at least defensively, if they want to come back in this game and potentially make this a longer series than 4 or 5 games.
GRW, no Tyler Hero is not playing. The original report is game 3, but maybe Game 2, right? There's a possibility for that, according to Woj.
Adrian Wojnarowski, the ESPN NBA insider, said today that there is some momentum towards him potentially going on Sunday for Game 2.
That's some offense that the Heat
I
could use.
wouldn't hold your breath for him to be available, but I will say I think Game 3 is a lock at this point. If he could go Game 2, cool. Just don't rush it too early, and let's not have a catastrophic re-injury where he's done for most of the offseason and he can't work on his craft and get better. You know what I mean?
Zephyr saying hi. What's up, man? How you doing tonight? Take a look at our sub count here, and then we'll take a look at some halftime stats. We were at 335,347 subscribers, and now we've picked up 30 more subscribers. Shout out to everybody for hitting that sub button. If you are subscribed, type me. And if you're an NBA fan, I promise you, our NBA free agency and draft coverage is going to be the best that you find here on YouTube. We have a great collection of NBA minds here at Chat Sports, and we're going to cover the NBA draft, NBA free agency like no other. We'll be live for hours on end doing a bunch of content. Don't want to miss it, and how do you not miss it? You subscribe to the show. Let's take a look at some halftime stats here. 17-point Denver lead to begin the third quarter once we get back in session. And it's certainly been a pretty interesting first half. Denver comes out of the gates after having a long rest advantage. You're thinking maybe they're a little bit rusty. Maybe they struggle to find a groove. Didn't take them long at all. And what was crazy is that it wasn't Nikola Jokic who went crazy in that first quarter to pace Denver. It wasn't Jamal Murray who was sticking a bunch of crazy step-back threes. It was Aaron Gordon, of all people, who was great in that closeout game against the Lakers. Honestly, had a game of his life, then had a great defensive play against LeBron to seal that series, who had 12 points in that first quarter. Anytime he was matched up against somebody who was smaller than him, Denver found him in the post. They went to him. We'll explain more thoughts on him just around the corner, but you look at the team-by-team comparison here. 59-42, Nuggets on top. They've certainly been a little bit more efficient in shooting the basketball. In the first two quarters, they shot nearly 60% from the floor, an astounding 25 of 42 from the deck. They were 5 of 11 from 3, whereas Miami, 4 of 17, and Max Strus, 0 of 7 from the floor, 0 of 6 from distance. That's been a problem for the Heat so far. Assists, 6 more for the Nuggets. They've only out-rebounded the Heat by 3, but their ball movement has been spectacular. And like I said, it started with some of the entry passes down low to guys like Aaron Gordon. 14 points, 12 of them came in that first quarter. And then the lone bucket that he did have in the second, he was matched up against Gabe Vincent. Easy layup for him.
Yeah, I'm not going to make excuses here for the Miami Heat, but I did expect Game 1 to not be the best game for Miami. I was optimistic that they could potentially steal Game 1 because they've done it every series so far, undefeated in Game 1s. All games have been on the road. So I was a little optimistic, but I knew after a grueling 7-game series against Boston, Denver had their feet up, relaxed, waiting for the winner for 8 days almost after sweeping the Lakers. It was going to be a tall task. And I'm not going to say the elevation has affected the Heat because it's the first half of Game 1. So it's like, I'm pretty sure their conditioning is in a good enough spot to where they're not struggling, at least right now. But I think it's more of the grueling Game 7. Maybe they're banged up a little bit. Their legs aren't under them, and I think that can attribute to the poor shooting. Bam Adebayo has been fantastic. We'll show his stats shortly. But the other Heat players, Caleb Martin has really struggled. Max Strus has really struggled. Jimmy has even missed a couple shots here after starting out pretty solid. This Heat team has just been unable to hit their shots, and I actually think they've been getting decent looks. It's just that their defense can't get any stops, so when your offense can't make their open shots and you're giving the other team wide open shots the entire game and they're shooting 60% and 45% from 3, you're obviously going to be trailing by a pretty wide margin. I wouldn't panic just yet. I think the Heat can make a push in this game. They have been a good third quarter team all postseason long.
Great fourth quarter team,
and they have the most 10-point wins, or I guess I should most wins while trailing by 10 points in the fourth quarter. They have 3 of them this playoffs. If you remember in the closeout game against Milwaukee in Game 1, they were trailing by 16 entering the fourth quarter, and they won that one in overtime. So I wouldn't say this game is over just yet. But you mentioned Aaron Gordon, and I want to highlight him because he has 14 points on 7 of 9 shooting. And you talked about how the Nuggets offense is able to get switches to where Aaron Gordon is posting up Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. And those two guys, as much as they've been decent defensively throughout this playoff run, they are just too little for Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, too little for Aaron Gordon. And that's a part of the problem that I have for the Heat. It's like, how do you match up against all the different options that the Nuggets have? Because Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray probably operating as the best 1-2 punch in the NBA right now just because of the pick and pop, the pick and roll, the dribble handoff, how hot Murray has been, how good he's been in the playoffs, and then Nikola Jokic is a triple-double machine. But we can't forget about KCP's impact. We can't forget about the athleticism of Aaron Gordon, who, good for him, he's finally showing up on a big stage when he has the opportunity to, because he was just hidden in Orlando for so many years. But the guy can play. Michael Porter Jr., Bruce Brown, Christian Brown comes in. He makes a couple of big plays. So this Nuggets team is so deep, but they're also playing right now with so much synergy where they're all feeding off each other in a way that made the Warriors so great when they were going on that dynastic run. It's this complementary ball movement, great, visibly appealing style of basketball that's so hard to defend. And if you're not deep, you struggle to keep up with them. 60 points in the first half against this Heat defense, that's impressive. And then for Jokic, it's so funny how he only had 3 field goals, and we're looking at him here at recess, 10 points, 10 rebounds, and he honestly hasn't done like a ton in this game, and he still has a double-double.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure the viewers at home, he has 10 assists.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing in this game. He has been dishing, and you mentioned the Golden State Warriors offense at their peak, and honestly just sparked to me why I've never seen it before. The Nuggets almost use Nikola Jokic like the Warriors did Draymond Green in 2016, 2017.
High point.
Where he would get it in the high post and then just let everybody else set screens for each other, run a fantastic motion offense around Jokic. But the difference between Draymond Green and Nikola Jokic is that one can average 25, 30 points a game, while Draymond Green's lucky to get 8 a game. So when you have the passing ability and the IQ of Jokic at the high post, and you mix that with an isolation game to where he can cook up a nice little post hook or an unbelievable jump fade, it's just so hard to guard. And this Nuggets offense obviously is bringing back the big man. It revolves around him, and it's really been working. And no one's been able to find an answer yet this year. Jamal Murray has been incredibly efficient. 18 points, 8 of 12 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. I think a common theme you're going to see here as we roll through some of these Nuggets players' stats is that they're getting whatever they want on the offensive end, and they're hitting their shots. Just a storm for the Miami Heat defense, which has been top 10 all season long.
Yeah, they're hunting mismatches, but they're also getting open looks, and they're taking advantage of those open looks as well. And the Miami Heat simply aren't. Like I saw from Jermaine, he said Max Strus is garbage, 0 of 7, 0 points. He's not garbage. But for the Heat to have a chance in this series, they're going to have to capitalize on these offensive looks, because with the team that's a little bit offensive dependent on only Jimmy Butler sometimes and not vast as far as their offensive firepower like Denver is, that's when you need to take advantage of some of those vacant opportunities. They haven't done that tonight. And again, the Nuggets have. That's why Murray, 8 of 12 for 18. Even Michael Porter Jr., he has 2 threes so far. He's 4 of 8 from the floor, as the Nuggets basically just unconscious from the offensive end of the floor. Bruce Brown, activity levels have certainly been there for him, but throughout this playoff run, he's obviously had bigger first halves than what he has had. Speaking of a big first half, you said this at the end of the second quarter, Bam Adebayo, maybe the most silent 16-point half that he's ever had.
Yeah.
He was really, really good. 8 of 13. He kept the Miami Heat afloat, really.
And the funny thing is that I said a quiet 16 from Bam, but whenever Bam scores effectively and efficiently, it is anything but quiet. When Bam scores 20-plus points for this Miami Heat team, I believe they have a winning percentage of 90+%.
Yeah.
And if you talk about these playoffs, I believe the Heat are undefeated when Bam scores 20-plus points. And he's going to get 20 points in this game, you'd have to imagine. So that streak might come to an end, or maybe the Heat come back. But the Bam averages in the regular season 20 points a game. So he's not known for his absolute scoring ability. He's on pace for 32 points in game one here. But he did keep them afloat, and I think what the Nuggets are doing differently defensively rather than what the Celtics did is that in games 1 through 3 against the Celtics, Bam dominated them. So what did they do when they won 3 straight? They packed the paint on Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler and said, we're going to force the role players to hit their threes, which obviously Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin did that very effectively. What I've seen from Denver so far in this series is that they're going to say, Bam, go one-on-one with Nikola Jokic. Take all the mid-range 10, 12-footers you want. If you make them, that's fine. You're making 2-pointers. We're going to stick on Caleb Martin. We're going to stick on Max Strus. We're going to stick on Duncan Robinson. And we're not going to let them get hot and make a difference in this series. So I really think a different philosophy of defense, well, they'll say, Bam, you can go get yours, unlike you did against Boston, because your 2-point shots aren't going to be able to make up for our offense on the other end. So that's just a different philosophy I've seen from Michael Malone compared to Joe Mazzulla just right away in games 1 compared to that last series.
Awesome to see our audience rising here during our halftime show. Once third quarter action is back in play, we'll of course break that down. Nearly 2,000 people watching live as we're just chopping it up, talking ball right now. And you made some references to defensive play. I want to see what Erik Spoelstra does with some defensive adjustments here. They got Byrne going to that zone. As good as that zone was in halting the Celtics on Monday, it's been just as bad against Denver. Here's the thing about a zone. What's a way to beat the zone that we're always taught and told growing up? Shoot the basketball, hit the three-pointers, right? That's what the Nuggets have been able to do tonight. The Celtics, on the other hand, they couldn't buy a three-point shot on Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't hit that first three until Al Horford hit that three late in that second quarter, at some point in that second quarter. So that's part of the reason why the zone hasn't been as good. But I just want to see a couple of adjustments defensively. Do they go man? Do they go zone? Do they try box in one? Then what happens with Max Strus? Does he start this third quarter, or does Duncan Robinson start this third quarter? Do we see Kevin Love at all maybe get on the floor so that he can put at least a body on Aaron Gordon, even though he's so slow nowadays? Those are some of the Miami Heat second half adjustments that I'm looking out for.
One thing I'm intrigued about before we get our second half underway, and we are pretty dang close, is that maybe Spo goes a little nuts, right?
Yeah.
Mad scientist Spo. And he goes maybe Haywood Highsmith starting in this third quarter. I don't know if he is, but I would be intrigued to see them roll out a lineup of Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Jimmy, Highsmith, and Bam. Yeah, your shooting's going to take a big hit, but if Strus isn't hitting his shots, why not take him out, go with another 6'7", 6'8" guy that is really good defensively, and then maybe you can feel more comfortable running that switching defense. Or maybe instead of trying to switch, you run more drop coverage, as second half is back. Quick action here by ABC.
LFG said this channel is always fun. Thank you so much. To make it more fun, if we get a $50 super chat, I'll shotgun a beer for everybody. That's what I'll do to make this stream a little bit more fun. It's already been a blast. So Heat get a bucket to start this second half. Now Jokic will try to respond with the three. He was wide open by about 10 feet. He can't convert. Can the Heat do something here to continue to carve into that disadvantage? Gabe Vincent out to Strus, who does start this second half. Adebayo, 16 first half points, and give him 18 now.
Well, he actually made the first bucket, so he's already
up
at
to
20 points.
That possession happened so quickly, I didn't even see who scored that first possession.
What are they going to call here? They're going to call this on Bam, which is a intriguing call by the officials. But Max Strus does start the second half. He get the 17-point lead down to 13 pretty quickly. And Bam has really just been able to score on Nikola Jokic whenever he's won.
Yeah.
It's just that I hate to keep on going to the same point, but the Heat defense is just getting shredded.
Murray off that patented high screen from Jokic. Jokic into the corner to Gordon. Now Gordon's guarded by Butler. Turn around, air ball.
And look at the difference. When Jimmy can stay on Aaron Gordon, Gordon can't back down Jimmy Butler, and the Heat play good defense. It's all about switching in matchups with this Heat Nuggets offensive-defensive matchup right now.
Adebayo, good pass to Butler into the corner to Vincent. Vincent, three, bottoms. Look out. Here come the Heat, down by 10. They were down by 17. That's a 7-0 run in a minute 30 to start this second half.
Yeah, what I'm seeing right now from the Heat defense is they're sticking on the hip of their guy, not sagging off at all. And I think it's really resulted in a different approach. I haven't seen
Nuggets look a little bit flustered to start the
outside
second
of the Jokic wide open three to start the game. They have not got good looks.
Adebayo. Oh, he can't dunk it home. Help defense from Murray altered his path. And then Murray on the other end, he's stripped, gets it back. Layup, good, and the foul. Massive answer for Denver. They needed it so badly.
Yeah, it's a big answer from Jamal Murray, who apparently got fouled by Jimmy Butler here. But Bam, who has been terrific in this series, misses a 1-foot layup guarded by Jamal Murray. And that's the frustrating thing with Bam, is that he'll look as good as he has so far, and then he'll miss a 1-foot layup basically guarded by a 6'1" guy when he's 6'9", 6'10".
Murray converts on the three-point play. Nuggets back up by 13. Murray up to 21 on 9 of 13 shooting. Something wrong with the clock, so we take a break here.
Oh, you know what really frustrates me about this is I didn't even notice until right now, is that the NBA Finals logo isn't even on the court.
That's a crime.
I didn't notice this until the players are stepping on it, and I can tell it's a graphic.
That's just a crime.
And I didn't think so initially, but then I saw the graphic kind of flutter just a second ago. It's not doing it right now, but it did it for 1 second, and then it clicked in my head.
How does that happen?
How can you not get it painted? Let's go.
Martin going to tee up a three from the corner. He can't find a shot tonight, but he was really one of the heroes in Game 7 on Monday. I thought he should have been Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Murray so patient into the mid-range. Bucket's good, but hold on.
I don't know if they'll count it. Off-ball foul.
Off-ball foul on Jokic?
I thought they called it actually on Aaron Gordon trying to push in for a rebound, but maybe they're saying it was a moving screen.
Illegal screen. So no bucket there. It remains at a 13-point Nuggets lead. Butler pulls up. No good. 2 tip-ins from Adebayo. Also no good. Through the legs pass from Gordon to MPJ. He tees up a three. That's off the mark. Jimmy Butler, as Van Gundy just said, has to get going. He does.
Yeah, he hasn't really been there. And that's a shot Jimmy just passed up that he needs to take.
Martin drives. Now Strus has it in the corner. Misses again. 0 of 8.
Jimmy Butler had 2 good looks that he passed up. He needs to be more aggressive.
That's the weird thing about him, man.
Don't understand him sometimes.
Like, he's so aggressive and he hunts his shots. Other times, he just passes up good looks.
Yeah, and ESPN's showing a graphic that Caleb Martin's averaged 14 in this playoffs. He has 0 points tonight, 0 of 6 shooting. Strus has averaged 10 in these playoffs, and he hasn't made a bucket. The Heat role players have really struggled in this game.
Murray, floater. Yes, and the foul again. Second and 1 opportunity here over the last couple of minutes.
So Heat go on a 7-0 run to start the second half, cut the lead to 10 very early. Nuggets respond with a potential 5-0 run of their own, 6-0 run of their own to put this back up to 16.
So Jamal Murray to the line. He has 23 points to answer Chase Nelson's question. Good first name, by the way. And sinks the free throw. 16-point Nuggets lead. They're up by 17 at halftime. Heat then went on a 7-0 run to get it back down to 10. Now it's 16. What a great pass from Adebayo to a streaking Jimmy Butler. Right out of the high post there. Good set for Miami. Maybe that gets Butler going a little bit. Sometimes you need to just see it go in. Murray's three. Rims out. Adebayo, another rebound. I love when he can push in the open floor. Back out to Strus. Strus to Butler. Shot clock at 10. Gabe Vincent, pump fake to Strus. Strus blocked by Gordon.
I think he's got to sit down. Max Strus, I know that's not another, it counts as a miss, but he got blocked. He's now technically 0 of 8 from 3, 0 of 9 from the field. I think Strus just has to sit down. I think he's in his own head at this point.
Yeah, it looks that way. Heat inbound. Shot clock under 5. Adebayo up and under layup. Good double team defense there. What a pass from Gordon to MPJ. Dunk off the mark, but it's because he was fouled by Martin. It was an awesome pass from Gordon in transition.
And that's what's so good about this Nuggets team is
they
that
get out and run, man.
They have 5 guys that could legitimately lead the break for this team. Jokic gets the rebound, gets it to Aaron Gordon, who then advances it up to Michael Porter Jr. for the potential dunk where he gets fouled. This Nuggets team is just so dangerous in the half court, in transition. There really isn't one way to defend this team. You just got to hope that they struggle and miss their shots. Sometimes Denver isn't the best defensive team. They've had good defensive schemes today, but the Heat, like I said, have also missed a lot of good looks that I think they usually have been hitting throughout these playoffs.
Strus, near side. Got to replace him with Duncan Robinson at some point. Chase Nelson, bro, Murray, get 3 more points. I have $300 on Murray. As of right now, your bet's looking pretty damn good, unless something catastrophic happens. Butler to Bam. Bam in the high post. Oh, fakes the dribble handoff to Strus, cuts through that defense and hammers it down.
It's the best I've seen Bam play offensively in a really long time. It's just that it's really going to nothing right now because of how good this Denver offense is working right now.
22 and 8 for Bam. Jokic. He's going to attack Bam. Good defense from Bam. They called a foul?
And I wouldn't be surprised here if Spoelstra, in second look, if it was all ball, if they challenged this, because I believe this would be Bam's 3rd foul, maybe 4th. Oh,
he got him a little bit as Jokic went up. But good defensive effort, at least from Bam, to not back down off the big-bodied Jokic. First free throw from the Joker.
That is the one thing that is Bam's downfall. As good as he is defensively, active with his hands, athletic, can switch on to 5 guys, he is a 6'9" center. So against Jokic, who's full 7 feet and has probably 40 pounds on him, that's where the big mismatch is.
So that is 3 fouls on Bam. He gets it back from Strus. The runner, no good, but Butler tips it in. So Jimmy Butler hasn't been able to find his shot. He's passed up on open shots, but around the rim, he's had a couple of tip-ins and energetic buckets here. 13-point Nuggets lead. Gordon guarded by Butler, up top to Murray. Shot clock at 8. He's guarded by Martin. Comes off the Jokic screen. Out to Jokic. Jokic dials up a 3. Yes! The Joker with his first triple of the night. Nuggets extend their lead to 16. Largest of the game is 17. And then they're going to get KCP fouling Gabe Vincent.
Nuggets already in the bonus as well. They have racked up a decent amount of fouls on the Miami Heat in this game. That Jokic, Murray pick and roll, oh so deadly, man. I just don't know how you defend it.
So a break in action here with the Nuggets up by 16. 2,000 people watching live. Continue to subscribe to the show. At last check, 335,455 subscribers. We've been able to pick up a couple more. If you're looking for great NBA content, we have some great NBA talent here under the Chat Sports umbrella. As people like to say, we know ball. And with the NBA draft coming up here in just a couple of Thursdays, actually, NBA free agency right after that, we'll be going live. We'll be offering our expert analysis on the draft picks, but on free agency, trades as well. Subscribe to the show. You won't regret it, and our coverage is going to be a lot of fun.
Tell you what, Chase, I know we're still at the NBA Finals, but I am fired up for the NBA draft at the end of the month, June 22nd to be exact. So 21 days away. It's 3 weeks to be exact, actually. 3 weeks to the day.
3 weeks from the day.
I'm really pumped because, man, I don't know what it is, but the draft in the NFL and the NBA, there's something about it that just draws to my mind. I love looking at prospects, where they end up going. I love drafts. Just love drafts in general.
Gary Sanderson, Nick Rohloff, big UConn basketball guy.
Yeah, I'm a big-time. My favorite player in the draft is Jordan Hawkins. My second favorite player in the draft is Andre Jackson Jr. I am a big-time
Draymond Light.
I call him Draymond Green with a 40-inch vertical. Because he'll give you 6, 6, and 6 a game while playing lockdown defense. But if you get him in transition, it's a sight to see. He'll go head above the rim action. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Crimsdad in the chat.
Crimsdad!
Sorry, Rolly, Heat going down. Listen, I'm still optimistic about this game. Brian Gonzalez, I've taken a different approach just for you, man. I actually don't think the Heat are out of this game. They just have to find a way to get more stops and then have one of their three-point shooters finally make a three. I believe Caleb Martin and Max Strus are a combined 0 for 15, 0 for 16. And obviously, if you told any Heat fan, told any NBA fan coming into the game that Caleb Martin and Max Strus were going to combine 0 for 16 from shooting, you would expect the score to be exactly where it is. So all it takes is one guy outside of Jimmy and Bam to hit a couple threes. Maybe it's Duncan Robinson. Maybe it's Gabe Vincent. But then that can really make things going for this Heat offense. We'll see, though. But do make sure you subscribe to Chat Sports. But I'll have to ask you guys.
Our Heat channel, too.
Yeah. Make sure you do subscribe to our Heat channel. I'll throw the links in the chat. Our goal is 1,100 today. You know the rules. If we hit 100 new subscribers and hit that milestone while on live, I'll take a shot of tequila, as always. So make sure you hit that sub button. We are actually now 34 away, 1,066. Can we get there tonight? I'll throw it in both chats. If you're a Heat fan or just like to watch a ball knower talk ball, hit that sub button to the Heat Report. We'll be live for every game, and we'll be here all off season long breaking down the latest Heat news and rumors.
You already know. Heat, they have the rock coming out of the timeout. Vincent off one leg. No good. Outlet pass from Jokic to KCP. He's fouled in transition. No call.
I actually think it was a good no call. I think he just lost his footing.
Duncan Robinson on the other end goes back and forth with Jimmy Butler. Butler leans in. Off the mark. Vincent saves it, but goes to Murray. Murray into the corner. KCP lines up a three, bottoms.
And that's just a backbreaker. I mean, Jimmy Butler has a wide open 12-footer at the free throw line. Misses it. Here come the Nuggets in transition. Wide open three. And it's now a 19-point game.
Bam at the top of the key. Entry pass to Butler. Back to Bam. Bam from 13 feet. Yes. Anytime the Heat have needed a bucket tonight, it's Bam.
It's been really disappointing to see the Heat waste an offensive performance like this from Bam because you don't get him that often. So when he puts up 24 points and on decent efficiency, you want to be in the game.
Jokic to KCP to Michael Porter Jr. Another three. Can't hit. Martin to Robinson. Robinson down to the left low block to Butler. He'll back down KCP. Robinson, pump fake, frees up some space for three. Ugly miss.
He didn't even hit rim. He hit backboard.
Just backboard. And he was wide open.
I think this is going to be after a game that the Heat are going to have to regroup after the fact. Let's just say that.
Murray will drive, charge.
That's not a good call. I think Gabe Vincent was sliding his feet there as Murray jumped in the air. They get the benefit of the doubt on the call. I would have to concur with my original statement after watching the replay.
LFG, I always catch this channel for big events. College football playoff, March Madness, NFL draft. How about NBA free agency and NBA draft coming up?
Yeah.
LFG, you're what we call a real one, my guy.
Yes, sir.
Martin. He'll dribble it up, guarded by MPJ. Goes down low to Butler. Butler guarded by Gordon. Shot clock dwindling. Martin 3. Finally, he's able to find Twine. He was 0 for. Strus has been 0 for. No longer there for Martin.
That's big time. Listen, the Heat trail by 14 now. If they get it to 10 going into the fourth quarter, they're still in this game. They are still in it. There's about 5 minutes left to go. Can the Heat continue to cut in this lead, get it to 10, and really make things happen as we enter fourth quarter where the Heat have been so dang good this entire postseason? Tell you what, the scoreboard
ESPN not showing the scoreboard is an absolute crime.
I can't tell if it's because of
the storm warning. They were showing it before that.
That's
Michael
what I
Porter
thought,
Jr.
right?
from just inside the three-point arc down the hatch.
This is making things very difficult.
76-60, Nuggets on top. Adebayo through the lane on Jokic. Just off the mark by a tad. Jokic hands it off to Murray. Murray spins off Highsmith. Pull up, mid-range, back iron. Highsmith rebound.
I think Highsmith is going to have to play in this game if the Heat want to make a comeback just for his defensive ability.
Jimmy Butler, mid-range pull up. Just can't find a groove tonight. Gordon to MPJ. Thought about a 3. Looked down low, then backs it back out to Murray. Murray will let the shot clock bleed here. Sends it to Brown. Brown will line up a 3. Bottoms. Bruce Brown able to knock down the 3. And that right there is the Nuggets' largest lead of the game, 79-60, with 2:51 left here in the third.
Yeah, he went into their 2-3 zone on that possession, and like I've said throughout this game, that the Heat just can't play a 2-3 zone against this Nuggets team because they're too good at sharing the rock with each other. They're too good moving around, and unlike other teams, they will not miss too many wide open threes. It's something that the Heat are going to have to look at. And I know the 2-3 zone hides bad defenders like Duncan Robinson, like Kyle Lowry, who can really struggle in man-to-man settings. But I think if you're going to have to win this series, you're going to have to rely more on your man-to-man defense and hope that those two can really adjust. It's just going to be tough as the Heat trail by 19. I said just a second ago, they were down 14 with 4 minutes to go. Could they cut it to 10 and be in this game still? And it's went the other way, 5-0 run for Denver. Now, listen, there is still time to cut this to a 14-point game again,
right, round 3,
and be alive, but that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to somehow cut into this lead to make this a close game in the fourth quarter.
An update for you NBA fans watching on Ja Morant.
Oh, boy.
Commissioner Adam Silver saying that he has reached a decision regarding the league office's looming disciplinary action against Memphis Grizzlies superstar Ja Morant, but will wait until a champion has been crowned in the finals to announce the punishment.
What? That is crazy.
He indicated that he has reached a decision.
That's crazy. That he knows what they're going to do, but he won't announce it.
He wants all of the attention to be on the NBA Finals.
I get that, but here's the negative side to the Grizzlies, right? Like, I get that the Grizzlies shouldn't get more help because I guess, I don't know how you want to phrase this, but it's happening to their team, so they deserve to get punished. But say they do elect to suspend Ja Morant 25, 30 games, like, the Grizzlies need to know that so they can go into the draft go into free agency with a plan to combat that 30-game suspension, and them delaying that process. Say the series goes 7 games, they announced the day after the NBA Finals on June 19th that he suspended 30 games.
And then the draft
is a week
from
3 days later.
3 days.
If it goes 7, of course.
Yeah.
Because Game 7 would be Sunday, June 18th, and then the draft
Maybe
is
Silver's
22nd.
told the Grizzlies.
Okay, maybe.
Have to imagine
but I
that,
can't
right?
imagine. It's just so unfair to the Grizzlies, and I know
for sure.
that like they won't have that much time to like come up with a plan to potentially replace a suspended Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
But let us know here where are you watching from? We'll give shout outs down in the comment section. Let's see.
Clayton Locker, I got booted off, but I'm back. We're so glad that you're back, Clayton.
See a lot of Jimmy Butler hate in the main chat sports channel. Listen, Jimmy hasn't been good today, but I will say this. The chat sports chat is slandering Jimmy Butler pretty solidly.
Philippines in the house.
Vincent's watching on Earth.
Vincent.
I'm glad.
He's on Earth.
I mean,
glad
it'd be
you're on
pretty
Earth.
cool if you were watching from Mars or
This
something.
is true. Or the moon.
Or the moon, yeah.
Japan from Paul B.
That's electric.
Nice. All right, here we go. Heat basketball. Zeller in the game. Hands off to Duncan Robinson. Back to Zeller. Zeller in no man's land. Finds Lowry. Lowry pull up. Too strong.
This no scoreboard thing is brutal.
Yeah, I don't know why ESPN doesn't have the damn scoreboard up. Is that the case for anybody else? Like, there are tornado warnings in Texas, but I'd rather know the score rather than if a tornado was coming at my head. Bruce Brown from the right wing. Pull up. Good. Little push shot there from BB.
I can't tell at this point if it's more. I mean, the Heat defense is giving up some good good looks for Nuggets, but I can't tell if it's just the fact that they're shooting like 60% from the field. That is the most astounding thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now,
this is a
if
pretty
the Nuggets
decent
are
look.
missing these, it's a different game, right?
Right, like,
Yeah.
I mean, that was a decent look off a floater, but it's still like the Nuggets are shooting 55, 56% from the field. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to turn poorly.
Zeller from the top of the key.
Zeller's going to do something here.
To Butler. Butler to Lowry. Lowry out to Highsmith. Highsmith 3, short. Can we please get the damn scoreboard up?
And I'll say this, Chase. I don't know if this actually is impacting it, because I know a lot of people like to mention the altitude. I'm not really a believer that it's affecting the Heat as we currently speak. They just are playing back. But it is something to note. The Miami Heat have not won a game in Denver since 2016.
That's insane. Nuggets turn it over.
Players on that team include Luke Babbitt, Rodney McGruder, Hassan Whiteside.
Wow.
Like there are some names on the
Rodney
team
McGruder.
of the Heat that last won in Denver. It's been a long time.
81-60. Heat trail with the rock. Highsmith push shot. That's not what you want. Nuggets rebound. Jeff Green in the game. Out to Jokic. Jokic wide open for 3. Passes it up. And then he gets fouled.
I have no clue where we are at time.
Yeah.
No clue about. I can't tell. If
129 is what I'm seeing.
129. Is that the right score still? I think I got it.
Yes, 81-60.
All right.
Now,
No, it's still anyone.
still 81-60.
Oh, man. I will say, though, Chase, and maybe this is just the optimistic Heat fan in me, but even though this isn't really close right now of a game, I don't expect this to be a thing where the Nuggets are the better team in the series, no doubt about it. But the Celtics were too, and so were the Bucks, and the Heat were able to beat them. I don't think this series is going to be similar to Game 1, where it's a blowout every time. Nuggets win in 4 or 5 games.
Duncan Robinson misses the 3. Jokic rebound. Bruce Brown now has it. Another push shot. And once again, he goes to the bank and deposits 2.
I mean, I would not be surprised if the Nuggets end up setting an NBA Finals record for team shooting percentage because I think they're going to finish in the mid-50s to close to 60s.
Lowry nails a 3, though. Heat certainly needed that.
Crim's dad, the Knicks did not have a better team than the Heat. I'm sorry.
Nuggets nearly turn it over, and it is going to be a backcourt violation.
Bruce Brown's been incredible. He's actually one of my favorite role players in the association.
Yeah.
I just think he does everything right. He's 6'4", 6'5", but he plays 2 through 4. I think he's just a terrific player.
22.7 seconds is what I'm seeing left here in the third.
Thanks.
Yeah, the whole bottom bar's gone.
I actually
because of this damn severe thunderstorm warning.
Yeah. Are they showing it on like ESPN2? Because ESPN2 won't be showing this. It's only because it's on ABC.
So on ESPN, they're showing the game, and you can see it. We're just
so after
screwed
this
because
quarter,
of the thunderstorm.
I'll switch to ESPN or whatever.
Butler into the corner. Robinson, pump fake, shot clock dwindling. Strus has to heave it up. Can't hit. Third quarter buzzer sounds, and the Denver Nuggets will take a 21-point lead into the fourth quarter. The Miami Heat have done a spectacular job here in the playoffs of mounting massive comebacks in the fourth and final frame. Do they have some magic in them once again? It's going to be a tall task against this team. That is for sure. Alien Nation, I like the video. You're the best. Salute to you. Yeah, we're changing it to ESPN2, hoping that the thunderstorm warning is gone. And it is. The National News Network. We have to inform the people. Soul Train, I still have Denver in 5. Yeah, I have a bet with somebody, David, back in Pennsylvania, $20 Venmo. I said Nuggets in 6. Look, I'm not going to overreact to this first game, but it's going to be tough for the Heat to win this series. That's for sure.
I'd say keep on spamming those 4s, though. It's fourth quarter time. 2,500 people watching on Chat Sports, 192, now 200 watching on the Heat Report. Keep on spamming those 4s. I should see 2,500 4s and 200 4s in each respective chat. Keep on spamming those 4s. I'll give some shout-outs. Choco Bear, one of Buddy Bear's many disciples. Yao Plays, Scott Shaver, Graham, AJ Rivera, Alien Nation, Terrell, Amir, Brian Gonzalez,
Christopher Allen. I am from Westchester, Pennsylvania, right outside of Philly. Type those 4s, baby. Going to the fourth.
Spam them. Spam them 4s. I'm going to do it in the Heat chat.
Spam those 4s. Going to the fourth.
If you spam 4, maybe you will inspire the Miami Heat to have one of the most improbable comebacks of all time. Are we watching this with Stephen A now? This could get ugly.
Oh, yeah.
This could get ugly.
No, there's no way because he's doing the halftime.
Oh, that's
post-game
right. That's
pregame.
right. That was very stupid of me.
That'd be brutal. We might have to mute. I like Stephen A. I don't like the watching with Stephen A. thing.
I'm nervous
it's not,
about what's
you're not the
come out
Mannings.
here.
Like everybody's trying to replicate the Manning cast. It's just like, what's the Michael K and A-Rod? It's like, what are we doing? You know, the baseball one? 63,000 people have joined us throughout the night. Let's get to 100,000 views for tonight. Like the video. If you like the video, more people will come in and make this the best atmosphere outside of being at the actual game. So let's get the 500 likes here. We're at 337 right now. If you're enjoying everything that we're doing here, like the video. Let's go. West Virginia in the house. Vietnam.
What is this movie they're showing? Oh, that's a big time.
Scott Shaver, I already liked. You're a real one.
Let's get it. I know a lot of people are disappointed with this game not being close, but I will say the comeback kids in Miami, there is a chance maybe they can string together some buckets. See here, this is the problem. Because of the scoreboard, we've been wrong by 2 points the entire time. What a disaster.
Wow. So 84-65. 84-65. Murray, entry pass to Jokic. Jokic turnaround, no good. Adebayo rebound.
They watching with Stephen A. I'm lost.
Adebayo in the lane. Out to Lowry. Lowry into the corner. Gabe Vincent collects, shoots, fires, hits.
And Heat only down 16.
Heat down 16.
A little run here to get it to 10 with 8 minutes to go. You're not done yet. Can we witness history here?
Jokic to Murray, left wide open, can't take advantage.
Just about to say, not playing that defense, you can't make a comeback. But hey, I guess I was wrong there.
Robinson, who starts this fourth, that's of note. Comes off the screen. Bounce pass down low. Lowry now has it. Top of the key. Vincent again. Same spot. Not the same result. This time he misses.
He needed to hit that one, that's for sure. Get that to a 13-point game early in this fourth. The Nuggets would have had to call a timeout in all likelihood.
Jokic. Bounce pass to Murray. Murray will reset. Shot clock at 10. Step back three. Wedgie!
No! There's nothing that frustrates me more. I love wedgies. There's nothing I like more than wedgies. But when your favorite team has the perfect box out and a wedgie incurs, that's just a disaster because it now goes from
getting transition.
It's going to be your ball to now you have to jump at middle circle.
Yeah.
That's brutal. I can't believe you just wedgied.
So Adebayo and Jokic will tip it up. Ball don't lie.
Okay.
Heat
Good
win
tip
it.
There we go.
Heat down by 16. Robinson thought about a three to Adebayo. Back to Robinson. Once again, looking for his shot. Can't find it, though. Shot clock 10. Lowry, pull up triple. Good! Kyle Lowry pulls the Heat within 13.
This game is not over quite yet. It's not over yet. 13-point game with 10 minutes to go. This is most certainly a ball game, and now the Miami Heat are starting to get cooking a little bit from beyond the arc here. 6-0 run to start the quarter, all thanks to a Gabe Vincent and Kyle Lowry three. There we go. This game isn't over yet, Chase. Exactly what we wanted to see.
How about Giovanni? ESPN should merge with Chat Sports. We would bring them some great entertainment, I think.
Oh.
Man. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
I hate to say it.
I mean, I would go on with Stephen A., and I'd shotgun a beer in less than 4, and I'd be like, Stephen A., that's how we do it at Chat Sports. Get on our level.
And we could also do that and provide actual analysis.
Yes.
Rather than whatever they do nowadays.
$50 super chat. I'll shotgun a beer in less than 4 seconds. That's my promise for the people if you send in a $50 super chat. It's the dollar icon with the rectangular box around it. You send that in, we have you covered.
I'm Antonio, no, you're a GOAT. Thanks for tuning in, man. But I guess we have to get the comment section rolling again because now that this is a 13-point game with 10 minutes left,
you got?
Far from over. My accent was coming out there. Who you got for game one? Type H for the Heat and for the Nuggets. Let's get that comment section rolling.
Tom Downey does not own Chat Sports, knowledge untamed. He just works here. Scott, Nuggets, Rohloff, Heat. Who else?
We got I'm Antonio type in his H's. Brian Gonzalez says down 13. If we can make it a 5-point game soon, I'll be happy.
Sean, Heat. Yasel, Heat. Denver ballin' from RD. Look out for the Heat, though. Down by 13. Llama, Jimmy Buckets. Judah, Nuggets. Boom, Nuggets. Sean, Nuggets. Harley, Nuggets. Nick, Heat. Looking at our live poll here. Who wins game 1? 3,000 votes, 58% Nuggets, 42% Heat. I'm actually going to restart that poll here.
Like that. I like
Start
that.
a new one.
As you guys continue to file in your answers of who you got, H for the Heat, N for Nuggets, most of the comment section rolling with the team in the lead. Makes sense. Nuggets have looked good all night long. A lot of people voting for them. I do want to implore you guys to subscribe to our Heat report. Miguel, I see you rooting for the Heat. Ashley, Trevor, all you guys rooting for the Heat. 1,074 subscribers. We just launched this channel a couple weeks ago. We're already climbing. We're already growing. Can we hit 1,100 subscribers from tonight's game? If we do that, I will be taking a shot of tequila for that accomplishment.
Well, here we go. We're 26 away.
Yeah.
So everybody watching on our Made Chat Sports YouTube channel, I'm throwing in the Heat sub link in the chat. Make Rolly take a shot. Subscribe to the Heat report. If he gets to 1,100, he's taking a shot at tequila. I offered a $50 shotgun. Nobody has sent one in. How about a free shot? All you have to do is hit that sub button.
Listen, we're talk ball over there. We know what to do. Heat on an 11-0 run right now. If you go back to the third quarter, Heat are making a move.
Murray got caught up in the air. Somehow found Green. Shot clock down to 4. Jokic, elbow. That's off the mark too. Heat are running down by 13. 11-0 run. Can they expand on it? Lowry up top. He just hit a 3 from there. Buries it again. Kyle Lowry has the Heat within 10. 84-74.
The comeback kids might be at it again, folks.
Murray up top to his left to Brown. Back to Murray to Jokic. It's a little zone defense here from Miami. A 3-2. Jokic down low to Green. Layup ends that 14-0 run, excuse me. It's a 14-2 run. Nuggets with the 12-point lead, 86-74.
And that's why I don't think you could run the zone with Jokic on the court that often, because he gets in the high post, he'll just find someone wide open.
Vincent gonna line up a 3. Short iron. Ball goes out of bounds. Nuggets basketball. Nearly 3,000 people watching live. Continue to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. Come on, make some noise. If you're not at the game, like the video. Get those comments in. Come on.
Little update on the sub count. We're 18 away from 1,100. I'll be taking a shot tequila if we get there. 18
Make
subs
Rolly
away.
Drink. Make Rolly drink. Murray thought about a 3. Instead, he'll drive, kick out. Michael Porter Jr., corner pocket 3. Rattles out. Bam. Another rebound. He has a double-double. Hand off to Duncan Robinson. Robinson for 3. That's shy. Brown, nearly stolen away. Recoups, finds Murray. Murray. Down to Jokic. Jokic layup. He's fouled by Gabe Vincent. Under 8 to go. 7:58 to be exact. Jokic going to the line here.
And I am curious to see, as we now have 330 people watching on the Heat Report, and a nice little uptick there. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button if you're just tuning in to the Heat Report for the first time. We're here all the time, and we are in sub-only mode, so if you want to chat amongst the Heat fans inside the comment section, make sure you are subscribed.
Jokic's first free throw. Bottoms.
Heat made a little push there, and they've gone a little cold in the last 2 to 3 possessions.
Jokic up to 16 points, 13 assists, 9 rebounds. So 1 rebound away from yet another triple-double. Second free throw. Cashes it through.
When does Jimmy Butler get inserted back into the lineup? Heat running with Lowry, Vincent, Duncan Robinson, Bam, and Haywood Highsmith.
Entry pass from Lowry to Bam. He lost it out of bounds. Didn't have good leverage there with Jokic in front of him.
And I feel like that's been the story of the game so far, Chase, is that even every time the Heat make a run and cut it to like 10, 12 points, the Nuggets answer with a 7-0 run to make it
Exactly.
back to an 18, 19-point game.
Heat need a stop here. You feel as though if the Nuggets get a back-breaking bucket, that could be detrimental for Miami. Jokic lost it. Good defense there from Miami, and then they give it away. Nuggets back the other way. Murray behind the back, toying with Cats. To Michael Porter Jr., pump fake, rises, bounce pass, Jokic, layup, yes. Erik Spoelstra, timeout. And that's what makes this Nuggets team so dangerous. The Heat come back, make it a 10-point game, and before you know it, it's back to 16, 90-74.
And that's the frustrating thing if you're a Heat fan. You have momentum here. You're working good. You're getting good looks. You're getting stops. You cut it to 10-point game, and that's the lowest it's been in, like, it feels like forever. And then as soon as you do that, they called a timeout. They regrouped, and then they go on an immediate 6-0 run because you're turning the ball over, not getting good looks, and giving up easy baskets inside. That's been the story of today's game, is that every time the Heat punch, the Nuggets come back with an overhead hook that puts the Heat almost on the canvas for good. It's just been tough.
We're up to 335,603 subscribers. Hit that sub button if you want the best NBA coverage here. Remember, NBA draft is 3 weeks from tonight, and then right after that, right around July 4th, is NBA free agency. We'll be going live for multiple hours on end, giving you some great NBA content and NBA analysis. So if you want to stay in the know with what's happening with your team, but all 30 teams across the NBA, all you have to do, subscribe to us here. All of our content for free, not behind a paywall.
What are we at now, Chase?
We are at 335,603. So we've been able to pick up a few hundred subs tonight.
I mean, can we get to 336,000? I mean, 397 away. Quick maths by Rolly there. I'm willing to stake my entire bank account that out of the 3,200 people watching on Chat Sports, there are 397 of you guys not subscribed. So what's the matter? Hit that sub button if you want more watch parties throughout the NBA Finals, and if you want us to be live and give you the best coverage on the planet when it comes to the NBA draft and NBA free agency, hit that sub button. Let's get to 336,000 subscribers tonight.
336K. That is the goal as Rolly outlined. You're making the right choice if you come join the party here. Ken Clark said, "What's up, Rolly?"
What's up?
Scott Shaver, I'm subscribed. You're a real one, Scott. Llama, like the stream if you like pizza. Unfortunately, that's what I had before coming on air.
Yeah. I mean, there's two ways to look at it. You can say, unfortunately, I had to have pizza, not the most healthy for you, but then you can also say, wowzers, pretty good stuff.
Francis F., I won't, bro. Don't pressure me to subscribe. I'm not pressuring you at all. I'm just saying you're probably making a wise decision if you do subscribe to the show. You're here watching us, hanging out with us. That means you like us, right? Then subscribe. If you hate us, you can still subscribe. It's all good. Justin Ralph just subbed. My man, Justin. Llama, I had Popeyes, so not much better. It's just not ideal to eat pizza and then have to go on air for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Not ideal. Not ideal.
Almost 400 people tuned in on the Heat Report. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are now 8 away from 1,100 subscribers. Like I said, if we get there tonight as a community, I'll be taking a shot at tequila. So hit that sub button. We're 6 away.
6 away. 90-74 coming out of the Erik Spoelstra timeout. The Heat got it back down to 10. Nuggets extend back to 16. Do the Heat have another push? Adebayo trying to get him on that right track. He does. He gets the deuce.
I actually believe the Heat are going to play good enough offense to come back in this game. It's all about if they can get the stops consistently on defense, and they're back into this 2-3 zone. Jokic sits, too. Interesting time in the game.
It's like a 3-2 hybrid, though. 3 guys up top. Murray trying to beat it. Turn around, Jay. Cookies.
Tell you what, no matter what defense you play, you're not going to be able to stop Jamal Murray driving in and doing a post fade from about 18 feet.
Vincent got his man in the air, up and under. Really solid move there from Gabe Vincent. Him and Adebayo, the two best offensive players for Miami tonight.
Yeah, Bam and Vincent, two leading scorers. Vincent's got 16. I think Bam has 26.
Vincent's making himself some money. So is Martin. Murray, right at that right wing. Nearly took the step back, sends it to Brown. Brown for three. Can't hit. 92-78. More than halfway gone here in the final quarter. Bodies go flying away from the ball. Lowry has 2 threes so far this quarter. Missed that one from the left corner.
That felt like one that had to go down, Chase. Felt 5 minutes to go. Could have cut it to 11. Stays at 14, though.
Porter Jr., he's going to take a three. He can't connect. Lowry with the rebound. Lowry will push. Sends it into the corner. Great pass there to Highsmith. Highsmith three. It's interesting that he's on the floor. You don't have a lot of other options. He rewarded himself by playing great on Monday in Game 7, but...
Well, with how bad Max Strus and Caleb Martin have been, I don't hate it. And I have... Even though the Heat defense hasn't been perfect, I think it's been noticeably better since Haywood Highsmith has consistently got minutes in the second half.
Yeah, Butler's finally on the floor, too. He was out for a lot of the start of this fourth quarter. Ugly miss from Denver. KCP putback. He gets fouled.
Ooh, I don't know about that call, Chase.
Lowry doesn't like it. He's going to argue the call, but it's going to stand.
I think that Spo might think about challenging this. If they're calling it on the rebound, sure. But on the shot, absolutely not.
It's got to be on the rebound. Because the foul took place prior to the shot, well before.
And they're going to say, unless they're in the bonus, which they're not, so they called it on the
Wow,
shot.
on the shot.
And I'm very surprised Spo didn't
KCP
challenge
missed.
it, but KCP misses the first one.
Ball don't lie. Jokic checking back in.
As we hit 1,100 subscribers on the Heat Report, appreciate all of you and the 430 people tuned in. Love you guys.
Tequila coming up for Rolly. KCP missed both. Ball don't lie. Shout out Rasheed Wallace.
I love when it works that way.
Bam Adebayo. Great pass to a cutting Jimmy Butler. Butler dunks it down. Look, we still have a game here. 92-80. With 4:40 left here in the fourth quarter, Michael Malone timeout.
Slow your roll, folks. Slow your freaking roll. I lost my brain. I have no clue what I was saying, but we have a game on our hands. I absolutely love it. Make sure you continue to subscribe to the Heat Report and Chat Sports. I'm going to go grab my tequila and then come back and take my shot. But, Chase, hold down the fort.
We'll hold down the fort here. Hold down the fort, NBA Now, Chat Sports. A lot of you also watching on the Miami Heat Report as well. It's 92-80. Nuggets with the advantage here. The Nuggets went into halftime up by 17. Miami's been able to be feisty, hang around. Earlier in this fourth quarter, they got it down to 10. Then the Nuggets extended it back to 16. And here we are, back to 12 here. Miami pretty much doing it without a great Jimmy Butler game, but a superb Bam Adebayo game. Subscribe also if you love the NBA and you want more NBA coverage. Just hit that subscribe button down below.
I'm back here with my tequila. Brian Gonzalez's birthday is going to be Sunday. Make sure you... Well, maybe if you won't be able to tune in, I get it, but hopefully the Heat are able to win Game 2 on Sunday for your birthday, Brian. Here's my shot at tequila.
Miami basketball. Jokic into the corner. KCP, three-pointer, no good. Big possession here for Miami. Lowry will drive, dumps it off for Highsmith, lays it up. And it's back down to a 10-point game.
How about this, Chase? The Denver Nuggets have taken 16 free throws in this game. Miami Heat, 2.
And Martin and Strus tonight have combined 1 of 17. That's why they're both off the floor right now. Jokic trying to beat the zone. He does. Teardrop. Got it.
And the zone has helped the Heat get back into this game, but I absolutely hate allowing Jokic to catch it with nobody guarding him at like 10 feet away from the basket.
Vincent, he's going to take a three. That's shy. Aaron Gordon rebound. Murray now near side. Backs down Vincent, then backs it back out. 3:30 to go in the fourth. Murray to Jokic. Jokic, turnaround jumper, good! 4 straight points for Jokic. Nuggets lead back up to 14.
Heat are going to have to do something miraculous with 3 minutes now. It's now dangerous time, and they're going to have to score on almost every possession.
Vincent, bounce pass to Adebayo. Down low to Highsmith. He was in that dunker spot, and he dunks it home fittingly. 12-point game. Murray, under 3 to go. To KCP, back to Murray. Murray, 3! It rattles out. Michael Porter Jr. skies for the rebound, but he's stripped. Lowry, down low to Butler. Can he attack Murray? He's going to try to back him down. Into the corner. Highsmith, 3! Good! It's a single-digit ball game here. 96-87. 2:25 left.
Make sure you subscribe. What a game. What a fourth quarter by the Miami Heat to cut into this lead.
Jamal Murray, left wing, bounce pass. Jokic thought he walked. Whistle silent. KCP pull up. Good. What an answer from Contavious Caldwell-Pope. 11-point Nuggets cushion. Approaching 2 to go here in the fourth. Lowry nearly gave it up. Ball loose. Nuggets pick it up. It's Jokic. What a pass down low to Gordon. Rises up, missed the bunny, but he's fouled. Bad free throw shooter going to the line now in Aaron Gordon. Nearly 4,000 people watching live. Like the video, subscribe to the show.
Almost 650 people tuned in on the Heat Report. Thanks for tuning in. If it's your first time, make sure you hit that sub button. I'm throwing it in the chat link so you guys can stick around for the rest of the watch parties this entire NBA Finals.
250 people away from 336,000 subscribers. NBA content. It's going to start to heat up. The draft is 3 weeks from tonight. Free agency right after that. You don't want to miss what we're doing. Aaron Gordon hits the first, hits the second. Critical free throws there for Denver. 13-point lead, under 2 to go. Miami, going to need a miracle. Adebayo in the lane. Missed it.
That likely does it too, unfortunately.
Jokic crosses half court, and he's fouled. I think that'll be Bam's fourth. Jokic, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 14 dimes. Heat in the penalties, so Jokic will go to the line here.
I think when you look back on this one, you're going to think, wow, Miami actually had a chance to win it with how good they played in the second half. Chase, the Nuggets had 59 points at half. They've only scored 42 here in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, you hold the Nuggets to that low of scoring in the half, you're going to feel pretty good. It's just the Heat have scored 42, 45 points. The Heat offense really struggled today. I think you attribute that to Jimmy Butler, Caleb Martin, and Max Strus all shooting very poorly.
Jokic, 9th triple-double this postseason alone. Heat nearly give it up. They get it back. Highsmith, 3, buries it again. 12-point game, 124 left. Nearly 4,000 people watching live. Continue to like the video. This game not over yet. Jokic, one-on-one against Adebayo. Right inside that left wing. Thought about spinning off of him. He's going to go back to backing him down in the trenches. Shot clock 4. Fade away. Teardrop. Good. What a shot by the Joker. Nuggets extend their lead to 14, but Gabe Vincent hits a 3. Back down to 11. 1 minute left.
I think the Heat have thrown in the towel here, which they have. Reserves set to check in.
Jokic to his left to Murray. 41 seconds in the game, 9 on the shot clock. Jokic, pump fake. He's been awesome in this fourth. Left-handed hook, no good. It goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with Denver. And Spoelstra's going to empty the bench here. Shot clock down to 1.3. I wonder if the Nuggets will just let it expire.
I bet they do here, Chase. And man, it got a little tight late, but Heat never able to get the lead lower than 9 in this fourth quarter. You thought maybe for a chance or a second there was a chance the Heat could make a run and get it really close. Evidently not the case. And the Nuggets will stay undefeated at home court this postseason. They moved to 9-0 at home now in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The best home team during the regular season as Nikola Jokic drives in and turns it over from defense on Nikola Jokic.
Do you like him, by the way?
Nikola Jokic? I am all in.
Yeah, he had a good summer league
I
last
think he'll
year.
be one of the main trade pieces this summer if the Heat look to upgrade their roster. We'll get into that more on the Heat report this offseason. That's why you subscribe moving forward.
Yeah.
But I think if the Heat do end up holding on to him, he's got raw talent that is very similar to me as Ben Simmons. Not in the downhill fashion, but 6'10", 6'11", handles the ball great, great passer, but he can actually shoot the three, but our defense is nowhere to what Ben Simmons
I hope he doesn't get traded because I want to see how the Heat can develop him, and he could take a big leap in year 2. So that does it for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. That does not do it for us here on NBA Now or on the Heat Report tonight. Post-game show coming your way. More than 4,000 people were just joining us at once. That was awesome. Final score in Game 1 of the 2023 NBA Finals. Denver Nuggets 104. Miami Heat 93. We're going to break this game down, go through all of the numbers. Miami, of course, has to make some adjustments. Game 2 not going to be until Sunday. So a couple of days off here. That's big for Miami, considering they just played Game 7 in Boston on the other side of the coast pretty much on Monday, then had to travel to Denver. Short rest against a team that swept the Los Angeles Lakers and has had some time off to reboot. Again, I went Denver prior to the series just because I think their offensive synergy, continuity, camaraderie, how they click on the offensive end of the floor, different role players stepping up, all of the star power. I think it's a little bit too much to handle for Miami, but Miami can come back. And if they even this series up at 1-1, it's a completely different series. But Denver has won all 9 games at home in the playoffs, and Miami has not won in Denver, Rolly, since 2016?
Yeah, that would be correct. When Hassan Whiteside, Rodney Magruder, and Luke Babbitt were running the show.
That's unbelievable.
It's not a pretty stat if you're Miami, but they've been a good road team all postseason long, so there's hope. And with the 2 days of rest in between games 1 and 2, you're going to have to trust the best coach in the association, which is Erik Spoelstra, to find some adjustments. I think the Heat defense played a lot better. I think if you broke down from half to half, this Heat team played much better defensively in that second half. But when we show you the stats here in a second, actually, we'll just do it right now as we get into our post-game show.
Izzy B, thank you for that $2 super chat too, by the way. Did we miss that?
We might have missed it in the end of that game.
Yeah, Izzy, some crazy things were happening at the end, but we do appreciate that $2 super chat for coming in.
We'll get to that in a second.
We'll get to that in a second. So, look, hang out with us for our post-game show. Then Rolly will continue to go in-depth on the Heat report as well. Final score, 104-93. Game 1 goes to Denver. They remain unbeaten at home in the NBA playoffs. And this game simply comes down to the Nuggets being very good offensively, whereas the Miami Heat, up until that fourth quarter, were pretty cold. In that fourth quarter, with a lot of their role players, by the way, like Kyle Lowry stepping up, that's when the Heat started to find a little bit of a groove. They cut it down to 9, but at the end of the day, this Nuggets team just too much to handle. Pretty even on the assist numbers, pretty even on the rebounding numbers. The three-point numbers actually pretty wild here because the Heat were struggling in that first half to score the rock, and they did throughout the game. That's not the case for Denver. They were shooting nearly 60% from the field going into halftime. That then dropped to 51%. Rolly, I did think that kind of like 3-2 zone worked at least a little bit against Denver in that second half. That was maybe an adjustment that they could think about going into game 2.
Yeah, and I think when you look back at this, as a Heat fan here, I'm really kicking myself, actually, the Heat didn't win this game. And I didn't expect them to win it, and I hate to have that mentality coming into this game, but with how good Denver is at home, you combine that with the fact they had 8-9 days of rest after sweeping the Lakers. Heat played a grueling 7-game series where they just closed it out 2 or 3 days ago. It's hard to expect to win this game, and the Nuggets offense was absolutely cooking in the first half. But I tell you what, if you're going to tell me the Heat defense holds the Nuggets offense to 104 points, you're going to have to win those games if you want to win this series. Because the Nuggets offense is expected to put up between 110 and 120 consistently. So you hold them under 110, you have to win that game. And I think the loss really falls here on the shoulders of Jimmy Butler, Max Strus, and Caleb Martin. Kyle Lowry came to play. Bam Adebayo came to play. Gabe Vincent came to play. Haywood Highsmith played outstanding. But Jimmy Butler, Max Strus, and Caleb Martin, I don't even think combined for 20 points. That is unacceptable. And you're going to look back on this one. If the Heat end up losing this series in 6-7 games, you're going to look back and say game 1 ended up being a very winnable game that they cost themselves because of the poor shooting from the field. I'm not even going to say from 3, 13 to 39. I'm not that mad at that, but you just can't go 39 of 96, aka 40% from the field. That's unacceptable. But one flabbergasting stat here, Chase, the fact that the Heat took 18 more shots than the Nuggets, but I think that really has to do with the fact the Nuggets outshot Miami at the free throw line by 16. It's a pretty staggering number. Pretty shocking to me that the Nuggets were able to get to the line 18, 19 times. Heat only 2-3 times. Very odd, because I know the Heat took a lot of jumpers, but they're also a team that lives in the paint a bit. So it's a little interesting to see them only shoot 2 or 3 free throws.
For sure. Let's take a look at some of the individual numbers now. Nikola Jokic at halftime had 10 and 10, and he was pretty much silent. He was great in closing this game out in the fourth quarter. He had a couple of big buckets there down the stretch, especially while defended by Bam Adebayo, who had his number throughout much of the night. We'll get to him here in just a little while. That was able to allow the Nuggets to kind of extend that lead, calm everything down, and end any hope of the Miami Heat being the comeback kids once again. Jokic, the 2-time MVP, finishes with 27 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists on 8 of 12 shooting. That is his 9th triple-double in this playoff run alone. And the Denver Nuggets, speaking of 9s, 9-0 at home so far in the playoffs here. Is something going to give? Miami hasn't beaten Denver in the Mile High City since 2016.
I'll say this, Chase. When it comes to Nikola Jokic having 9 triple-doubles this postseason alone, I think I can confidently say, and I think almost everybody can, that when Jokic retires, he will lead NBA history in playoff triple-doubles. I don't think there's anyone who does it easier than him. I know that
it's so seamless.
I know that Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double for damn near 2 seasons, winning MVP, but he couldn't quite get those numbers consistently in the postseason. Jokic does, and he does it with ease. And that's the crazy part, is that a 7-foot center is more likely to have, I know that averages say no, but to me, watching the game, it's more likely that Jokic gets 10, 11 assists than he does get 10, 11 rebounds.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane what he does and how he's able to control the game offensively from the high post, from the block, kicking it to open shooters like Jamal Murray, who had 26 points himself and 10 assists. So you're getting a combined 53 points and 24 assists from your 2 best players.
Yeah.
It's just how they've operated the past couple seasons. It's why they're the best team in the West.
Yeah, and that's why, like right now, with the dribble handoffs, the pick and pops, the pick and rolls, the actions that they run to complement one another, That's why I think Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, they might be the best 1-2 punch in the NBA, at least offensively right now. Black Sparrow said, it's the finals, man. He just had a triple-double on 80% from the floor. That's not so-so game. That's not what I'm saying. I said he was spectacular down the stretch. I'm saying for Nikola Jokic's standards, at halftime, when he had 10 and 10, it was wild that he had a double-double, and it's like, Jokic hasn't done as much as we're accustomed to seeing in that first half, but he closed that game really strong, and that's why the dude right now, in my opinion, is the best player in basketball. Murray, one of the best bucket getters, the 26, as Rohloff said, and then Michael Porter Jr. Let's give this guy his flowers, right? I saw some people saying, a couple of weeks ago, he's going to hold this Nuggets team back. He was really good against the Lakers. He was good again tonight. 5 of 15, I don't care about that. I care about when the buckets happen. He also had a couple of blocks there in that first half, which did reverse course on some of those possessions that helped the Nuggets out offensively. 14-12, that length, size, and athleticism, that's what the Miami Heat struggled to combat against. And then Aaron Gordon. One of the biggest first quarters that you can ever have. Woo! He set the tone for the rest of this game because he hunted, and Denver hunted the mismatches of him going up against a Max Strus or a Gabe Vincent down low. They consistently went after those mismatches, and Aaron Gordon had 12 points in that first quarter. He finished with 16 for the game. Bruce Brown, one of the better role players in the NBA. It's wild that he hasn't been able to stay on a team for a really long time. He has found a home here with the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, and Bruce Brown, I believe, is actually a free agent this upcoming offseason. Yep. And I know there was a report that came out before this finals got underway that the Denver Nuggets are going to do everything they can to attain Bruce Brown because of how impactful he is off the bench, whether it be dishing, whether it be getting rebounds, defending, or scoring. He can do it all. And I thought he was one of the key parts for those Nets teams that had KD and Kyrie. Now he jumps over to the West and partners with Jokic, MPJ, and Jamal Murray. And the one thing that it really stands out to me here is the Nuggets are able to get the win, only scoring 104 points. And now that I've been able to sit on it a little bit, think more about this game, the Nuggets offense was so dang good in that first half, it seemed unstoppable.
Yeah.
But they really only scored 45 points in this second half. You hold the Nuggets to a 45-point half, you're doing something really right. And the fact that the Nuggets were able to win a game where they only scored 45 points and a half, kudos to them. I think it's really attributing to their defense and how they were able to hold the Heat offense to such a low standard. And the Heat offense showed up like it did in the regular season, the worst offense in the regular season when it comes to points per game chase. Now in the postseason, they are the number one three-point shooting team at 39%. They only shot 33% today. But the Heat's poor offense that has been there all 82 games leading into the regular season, the reason why they were the 8th seed, reason why they were 3 minutes away from not even being in the playoffs, almost losing to the Bulls at home in the play-in game, it showed up today, and that's the reason why they lost. Only 93 points. It's not going to cut it in any playoff game.
Yeah, so that does it for the Denver Nuggets side of things. Are you going to stay live and do the Heat side? Or what's your plan?
I don't know if you we can make the decision now. I'm going to do a Heat cut no matter what, but
Okay.
do you want to go over the Heat stats now before I do that?
Let's go over the Heat stats now just really quickly, and then Rohloff will stay. Are you going to stay live on the Heat channel? Yeah. Rohloff will stay live on the Heat channel. What a game there for Bam Adebayo. Look, he had good defense against Jokic, despite Jokic's triple-double, the 9th of the playoffs so far. And I thought that Bam attacked Jokic knowing that the Joker was going to struggle to keep up with him defensively. Bam was the Heat's best player tonight. And unfortunately, his effort is going to go to the wayside of 26 points, 13 rebounds, 13 of 25 from the floor, because oftentimes and sometimes Bam Adebayo isn't going to have this type of impact every single night. It's a little bit up and down as far as his offense goes. I think it's the third best big in the NBA. I think it's the Joker. I think it's Embiid. I think it's Bam after that. He showed tonight why he is in that conversation. Now, is there a big drop from Jokic and Embiid to Bam? Yeah, could be a sizable drop. But he's continued to play really, really good basketball throughout this playoff run. He certainly had his struggles against the Boston Celtics in moments. but defensively, offensively, his two-way ability is so crucial to the Heat's success. And if they can get a semblance of this in Game 2, and Jimmy Butler can play a little bit better, and Max Strus and Martin, they don't go 0 for once again, then maybe the Heat can climb back in this series.
And it's something that the Heat knew they were going to have an advantage in. As crazy as it says, Bam having an advantage in. Yes, it is true. Jokic is obviously going to get his. He's the best center in the NBA, arguably the best player in the league. I think it is in between him and Giannis potentially. But Bam is so athletic, so crafty. When guarded one-on-one with Jokic, Bam should be able to get any shot he wants. He's just simply quicker, and Jokic is going to be having a hard time keeping up with Bam on that end of things. Now, Jokic is obviously going to control that other side of it when he's on offense, even though I think Bam's the best defender in the league. I've been on record saying that 2 or 3 times. But Bam will have an advantage every time they're on the offensive end, and I think you saw what the Heat were trying to do. They didn't execute it effectively tonight, but they put Jokic in a lot of pick and rolls like a lot of teams did to Cody Zeller and Kevin Love. And then when they played drop coverage and Jokic got off Bam, they swung it to Bam. He'd catch it in the post and either go up for a dunk, dish it to the baseline cutter for his dunk, or take a nice mid-range jumper, which is how the Heat, I think, were able to make a little bit of a push there in the second half. But I just think the only reason why you lost this game is because of how bad Caleb Martin was, how ineffective Jimmy Butler was, and how abysmal Max Strus was. So I think the Heat have something. They just need to execute it better, because I think they actually did decent in that second half. And if they can keep that momentum rolling, maybe they can steal a game on the road for the first time, or in this playoffs at least, against Denver.
Yeah, and look, you look at what Gabe Vincent did, 19 points, 7 of 14, 5 of 10. If Max Strus and Caleb Martin just hit a couple of buckets and they convert on a couple of threes, is this game a little bit different? And in a Game 2 or in a Game 3, as they're looking to climb back in this series, if they just get hot from 3, they can win a game here for sure. If they hit a couple of threes there in that first half, the complexion of the game changes. Maybe the Nuggets start to feel a little bit more pressure. And then in that second half, they're not having to scratch and claw and come back from these large deficits. So that's really what it comes down to, I think. Because Vincent might be able to get his. Bam might be able to get his. At some point, Jimmy Butler is going to have a better game. And he will. I have confidence in Jimmy Butler that he's going to be able to do just that. Really, what's weird, he had those monster games against Milwaukee. He was good against the Heat. Big first 2 games against Boston. After that, though, it wasn't spectacular by any measure. Game 7, solid for sure. Is he worn down? Is he getting a little bit tired? I want to see him hunt his shots a little bit more. Because at the end of Game 6, that's when he started to get downhill and hunt his shot. After he looked scared to shoot the basketball. And tonight, he seemed a little bit too passive. Like 14 shots is not enough for me from Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and I'll say this, and Jimmy Butler will not make any excuses for himself, so I'm not going to make any excuses for him. But I don't think it's a surprise when you look at Jimmy Butler's postseason and what he did against the Milwaukee Bucks in those 5 games was something that I don't think I've ever seen personally. I mean, he was so dominating. Just thinking about games 4 and 5, 56 and then 45 points. Just absolutely incredible. And then game 1 against the Knicks, what did he do? He had 30 points in that game on the road where they stole that game. And then what happened in that game? He got, I like to call a slide tackle from Josh Hart. He sprains his ankle pretty bad. And Jimmy has been able to put up good games, like you said, on the road in Boston, really games 1, 2, and 7.
Yeah.
But since that injury against the Knicks, he has been very passive looking for his shot. And an ankle injury, I get, will make you play differently, but I still think Jimmy has to be aggressive because you're the best player on the team, bro.
Yeah.
You have to lead us.
Set the tone.
And that's one of the Heat's mantras is if after they win a game, the MVP of that game, in the locker room, they say, that person, lead us there. Show us the way. Jimmy Butler, you're going to have to show the Heat a better way if the Heat want to win this finals, because I know that it's tough going from Game 7 on Monday to game 1 today, going from Boston to Denver, the altitude, the elevation. But I just don't think that's an excuse for Jimmy Butler to be this passive in game 1 of the NBA Finals. And it's the first time the Heat lose game 1 of a series this entire postseason. It's the first time they've trailed in a series as well this entire postseason. I think you can also count for Caleb Martin returning back to what I'm not saying returning back because this is even a bad game for normal Caleb Martin.
Yeah.
But obviously averaging 20-plus points in the Eastern Conference Finals, looking like Paul George out there, shooting 60% from the field and 50% from three, was not sustainable. Comes back to earth pretty hard here. Horrible game for Caleb.
Yeah, 2,000 people watching on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. Thanks for hanging out with us as we talk ball. More than 400 people watching live on our Miami Heat channel. If you haven't subscribed over there because Rolly, lifelong diehard Heat fan, he's just going to continue to get better, and that channel is going to continue to pump out more content. Subscribe. Nobody's going to be doing what Rolly's doing on the Miami Heat Report. Martin, such a funny point. Like, you watch him last round, and you're like, classic Miami Heat developmental story. The dude has turned into Paul George, has to get back to that level of play here against Denver because you need to be able to match the Nuggets with points just because of the versatility and diversification of how they score the basketball. Max Strus, 0 for 10.
I don't even
Rolly and I, hosting the show here at Chat Sports, had as many field goals as Max Strus did tonight.
I don't even
can't happen. It
I
just
don't
can't
even know
happen.
the words to describe his performance. Like, I tried to come up with new adjectives and describing words on how Max played, and I just really am at a loss because I don't think you could have a worse game than this. And I'm not even going to say that his shooting was the only reason he played bad, because you can affect the game without scoring with your defensive ability and playmaking, but it's not like Max Strus is a facilitator for this Heat team, and he was constantly getting bullied inside by Aaron Gordon on switches. So Max Strus, rough game. I'm going to hope that he bounced back because I know Strus is a competitor. He's a competitor guy. I don't expect him to continue to play this bad, but the Heat are going to need one of their shooters in Duncan Robinson or Strus to have a good game on Sunday if the Heat want to steal one on the road and go back to Miami 1-1. Listen, I know it sucks to lose an NBA Finals game, and listen, it's bound to happen because how rare do you sweep an opponent in the NBA Finals? But listen, if you can just win Game 2 in Denver, you will be going back to Miami with all the confidence in the world. You'll have the ability to protect home court and win the NBA Finals. I know it's difficult to swallow a loss in Game 1 when it was there for the taking and you just shot so damn bad, but I think there is enough positives from today's game that you can say the Heat really have a chance to win on Sunday. I know some people will think otherwise because it was a blowout in a double-digit game for the entire second half, but that's how I kind of feel right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, that does it here for our main Chat Sports coverage for Game 1. Don't forget to subscribe to the show, like the video, comment before we hop on out of here. Nick Rohloff is going to stay live on the Miami Heat Report, and he's going to talk about really in depth what went wrong for Miami, what they can adjust heading into Game 2, and what they can try to do to tie this series up at 1-1 with Game 2 on Sunday. Game 2 on Sunday, by the way, myself, Rolly, we're going to be back for Game 2 on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel and on the Miami Heat Report. We're going to have Friday, Saturday off. Rolly, myself, Harrison going to hit the links tomorrow, have a chill Saturday as well. Hopefully shoot some low numbers, but Sunday, we're back right here, throwing on the headset. We're going to be on the microphone, so make sure you come hang out with us on Sunday for Game 2. So that does it on our main Chat Sports coverage. Go over to the Heat Report. You can tune in over there. I'm going to throw that link here,
I have it right here, Chase.
in our main chat, and that's in there. So if you want to continue to hang out with Rolly, head over there. So there you go. Thanks to everybody who watched us tonight. 125,000 views for Game 1. We're going to continue to build on that momentum for the rest of this series. For Rolly, I'm Chase. We'll catch you next time. Go to the Heat Report right now.
Welcome into the Miami Heat Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Nick Rohloff.